to you from the Radio for One studios in Franklin, Michigan. Welcome to the Detroit Cast.
Big fan. Big fan.
A show not just free of charge, but free of FCC regulations.
Thank you for your support of the Detroit Cast.
Oh, there it is.
And without further delay, it's showtime. Please welcome the Detroit Cast. Here are your hosts, Mike and Jay.
Good morning, fine listeners of the Detroit Cast. Mike and Jay, Big E is here, the dog is here. How are you, buddy?
Good morning, gentlemen.
You look a little tired. Are you tired?
Not as tired as you, sir.
No, I'm tired. It's all right. Good day. Welcome to the show. How are you, E? Are you good?
I am good.
Or whatever.
Sure. As good as ever, I guess.
Yeah. That's good. Long night, I suppose, watching the
New Hampshire. You couldn't stop watching the numbers roll in, huh, Mike?
Yeah.
Dude, it was decided in the first hour.
I know it was, but I still had talking heads on in the background and blah blah blah. But yeah. No real surprises, I suppose.
No.
Out of the vote in New Hampshire, Trump wins in a landslide. Of course, everybody pointing out to the fact that it's 93% white. Of course, it's all white people voted for Trump. And Hillary got her ass kicked.
She did, man. She's up against it. This is tough.
Yeah.
Because you're going with the emotion and idealism of the voting population now on the Democratic side. Like the burn has hit a nerve here, similar to what Bill did many years ago, Bill Clinton, and what Obama did. It's more than just policy.
Yeah.
It's now like kind of a cult-like following type thing.
Yeah.
It's the cool thing for the young people to latch on to. Did you see her demographics? She only won 65 and older.
Yeah.
Everybody else went for the burn.
Yep. They're feeling the burn, man.
She's screwed, dude.
Yeah.
Because she can't just snap her fingers and improve this. This is like a movement.
Mm-hmm.
It's emotional.
Yeah, but they keep leaning on, she's gone out of her way to like really key in on take advantage of disenfranchised people.
The minorities. Supposedly.
Why?
They did 2 months ago, but the burn is here to stay, Mike. I mean, come on.
Yeah, the burn's
it's a
kicking
wildfire.
Yeah, he's kicking ass. He had some just rambling ass speech last night that went on for, 3 hours. He might still be talking up there, talking about how great this is for the country.
This is a great thing.
And then Trump came on.
Now remember, we all have to band together no matter what happens in 3 months.
It's a lot of we's. We can do this as a group.
That's the thing, dude. He's tapping into this emotion.
Yeah.
Similar to the hope and change. It's this idealism. People are putting this faith in this guy. They're not even looking really past step one as to what his policy really is, or thinking through like, holy shit, this is socialism. Set that aside.
Yeah, whatever.
The Burns like a rock star right now.
Yeah.
And he's sort of like this, this fumbly old, Jewish guy from the Bronx. It's kind of like a caricature you can get behind and kind of root for is what the young people are thinking. And then you look next to him and you have this bitch who just, thought it was going to be a coronation for the second time.
Yeah, she thought she was going to run away in a landslide, and it's
leaning so heavily on the female vote, just thinking that would fall in line.
Pathetic.
Dude,
I'm sorry, that is so pathetic.
It is pathetic, and it's past time for that. The Obama thing tapped into this. We need to be progressive and do something concerning a characteristic, in that case, African-American. That was the time to do it. If she was going to hit that kind of nerve, like we need something different than white men in this office, I think we're past that.
Yeah.
And I think, as you said yesterday, day before, whatever, that women feel like that's going to happen.
Yeah. Younger women especially.
Yeah. We're now on the course where there will unquestionably be a female president. We don't need to like strike while the iron's hot and get Hillary
and get some Nana in there.
Nana, her and her Nana cheeks. But she doesn't have it. She doesn't have the charisma.
No.
I mean, she may have the machine, as you alluded to a moment ago, to stop it in South Carolina or some southern states. But dude, you can't predict what this kind of emotional backing can do.
Yeah.
It catches, and we saw it. Obama did the same damn thing.
Oh my God, did he ever? And Bill did it before that.
Yes.
hanging on to that and running with it. Bernie Sanders is scary on another level.
Yeah, we don't even get to the actual policy behind him.
Yeah, I don't know if he understands what America is built on and what it means. There is no such thing as a guarantee in this country. We've talked about it before. Like this idea that we can all be successful and all share with each other. It's like, no, dude, that's
why he will fail miserably in the general election.
Yeah. I mean, it sounds good on paper. I understand it. There have been moments in this process where I've started to feel the burn. I felt the burn a little bit, I got to admit. And then I had to kind of snap my head around and go, dude, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
What are you talking about? It doesn't make sense. So I don't know. Trump gave a really rambly speech afterwards too. Yeah. But he didn't really have anything you could tell at least.
Oh wow, Trump didn't have much substance. Yeah. Is that right?
Well, Bernie, he had a lot to say, and we're gonna do this, and it was like, okay, now it's time for my speech that I've prepared for this moment. And Hillary did the same thing. Now it's time for my speech there for that moment.
Right. There's an emotional, we won, thank you to all.
Yes, but then drive the message. No, well, he rambled for 10, 15 minutes or whatever, but most of it was like, I want to take a minute to thank my beautiful wife, Melania. It was like an acceptance speech at the Oscars. He thanked everybody. Hope Hicks, who we sent an email to yesterday. Hope Hicks. Yes, Hope Hicks, I got to say thank you to her. This beautiful woman fields more phone calls in a day than anybody on the planet. Hope, she's wonderful. Just a great person. I want to thank her. Donald Jr., I want to thank Donald Jr. He just went on for like 10 minutes thanking individually every person that's part of his campaign. He had them all up on stage. I swear to God, they should have just handed him a trophy because it's over. I've won now. But, good for him.
He's got to be feeling a lot of relief because the polls actually translated to the actual vote this time.
Yeah.
So that was the big thing. People were wondering, okay, you can whip up these rallies and you can have people report that they're going to vote.
Say it on a phone or something.
Yeah, but will they actually show up and do it?
And
they did. It kind of went down the lines of what the pundits thought going into New Hampshire. What was more interesting was you knew Kasich was going to do well in the final days. They looked at him and said, he's spent like a year in New Hampshire.
Yeah.
He's going to do well. But then the question was, how will the governors do behind him? And Rubio, man, took a huge hit with that debate. I mean, Jeb has to thank God for what Christie did.
Yeah.
Because Jeb would maybe thinking about getting out at this point.
It's like a suicide vest that Christie put on.
He really did, man.
Kind of took him down
because it didn't really translate to support for Christie that much. I think he was still in single digits at 9%, something like that.
Yeah, I think you needed to get 10 to get any delegates, but
yeah. So Jeb, he benefited from that hatchet job that Christie did, and that brought him, I think, pretty even with Rubio.
Yep. They were tied at one point last night, like literally tied.
So that Rubio flub debate really made this far more interesting for a few more weeks, because what you thought would be Cruz, Trump, and Rubio is now a muddled mess in terms of Rubio, Kasich, Bush, maybe even Christie hanging around at the bottom.
And a lot of people are saying that too, that it's so muddled. There's such a jam up there with the what you think of as traditional politician voices that once some of them start dropping off, we'll see what Trump's really about. Like he's got this big percentage of people that are just disenfranchised and done with the system.
But the establishment machine hasn't coalesced around one guy or one of the senators.
Yeah. It'll be interesting to see. But yeah, Trump takes 35%. And Kasich with 15%, Ted Cruz with 11.5%, Jeb Bush with 11.1%, Rubio with 10.5%, and then Christie with 7.5%, rounding about Carly Fiorina and Ben Carson.
Bye-bye.
Yeah. What are you doing? Why are we still playing this game? Seriously?
Carson, dude.
Yeah. Poor guy. He had some momentum for like a week, too. I mean, he really did have.
My dad loved him.
I know he did.
Loved him for the last 3 years or whatever.
What's your dad saying now?
No idea.
Yeah. You need to ask him. I'm interested to know what he thinks. By the way, more people are coming out and talking a little bit, kind of off the record about Hillary and some of the speeches. He's really pounded about the whole Wall Street thing, Bernie Sanders. And so some people were talking about those Goldman Sachs speeches that she gave. which haven't been made public. Those are private speeches. That
three speeches for an editor, like $675K, something like
exactly. So, you can imagine doing 45-minute speech for 200,000 plus. Dude, how do you get that job?
Have you seen what her and Bill pulled in over the last 5 years or whatever it is on just speeches? It's unreal, man.
Yeah, it's crazy. Well, what is their net worth now? About $120 million? Didn't they say they were broke when they left the White House?
Yeah.
So, it's just, and
that just opens such a wide hole for Bernie to run through, because his whole message is, screw Wall Street, screw Washington, and it just plays right into his hands.
And that's why I was feeling the burn, because I get that too. It pisses me off, and I don't know enough about it, and I'm certainly not smart enough to know enough about how the tax system works and offshore accounts to hide money, but seeing story after story after story, trying to wrap your head around this idea of these mega companies paying dick in taxes. I mean, it makes you feel the burn. I mean, I was feeling the burn. If that was just his thing, but didn't want to share the wealth with everybody, it kind of sucks. But anyway, Hillary Clinton's campaign has yet to release the content from her speeches at Goldman Sachs, and they say there might be some good reason for that, as some people are coming out. She sounded like a Goldman Sachs managing director, one person said. One audience member of the Clinton speech told Politico it would bury her against Sanders.
Wow.
Yeah. That's another person said that it would bury her against Sanders. Those speeches demonstrate a coziness with the bankers that Sanders has suggested. So far, Clinton hasn't responded well when asked. She was famously asked a week ago by Anderson Cooper about it. And, why did you take $675,000? Well, that's what they offered.
Yeah.
Good answer.
Everybody's done it.
Mm-hmm. He asked if it was a mistake. Well, I don't know. That's just what they offered. She tried to revise the comment the next night, saying, I think I may not have done the job I should have in explaining my record. I did when I left the Secretary of State's office, like so many other officials, military leaders, journalists, and the like. I did go on the speaking circuit. I spoke to heart doctors. I spoke to the American Camping Association. Well, no one's got a problem with the Camping Association, Hillary. I spoke to auto dealers and firms on Wall Street. They wanted to talk to me about my experience as Secretary of State. No, they didn't. They wanted to buy your experience as Secretary of State. I went to Wall Street before the crash. I was the one saying, you're going to wreck the economy because of these shenanigans with mortgages. But those who witnesses the speeches don't recall Clinton rallying against Wall Street at all. It was pretty glowing about us, actually. It's so far from what she sounds like as a candidate now. It was like a rah-rah speech. The second attendee agreed. It really makes her look like an ally of the firm.
Wow. And this notion that, at the time she wasn't sure she'd be running for president. Right.
Yeah.
She's sure she was running for president since she was first lady.
Since she was 12.
Trying to form our national health care policy.
Yeah. And I love people piling on too. People are like, oh, she can't catch a break. People are going to go after her. It's just because she's a Clinton that they attack her. Lots of people do these speeches. It's like, yeah, lots of people do. The problem isn't that she's doing the speeches so much. It's that she's trying to play both sides. You can't have it both ways. You can't take $670,000 from Goldman Sachs for what essentially is 2.5 hours of work and then act like this is the problem with the country when you're talking to the minions.
Yeah.
It's an honesty and credibility issue that she's having.
And she will never recover from that.
Yeah.
This is just another block piled on the top of the credibility. And behind this, we haven't talked about it in a while, but the email investigation, I think the FBI yesterday, day before, confirmed officially that they are investigating her server. Up until then, it was, no comment.
Yeah.
So, that's in the background. And is it a huge chance that they're going to indict somebody if she's the candidate on the Democratic side? No, but that's all there, and it's all grayness that just again allows Bernie a hole to run through, man, with this emotionally charged campaign.
Yeah,
the burn, dude.
I had a feeling the burn, Jay. Feeling the burn.
Hey, Dot Ford's the official auto dealership, the Detroit Cast, and Metro Detroit's leading lease pull-ahead authority. They specialize in getting you out of your current lease up to 12 months early, regardless what you're driving now or how many miles you have on it. They'll assist in terminating your current lease with no penalties and hook you up with your new badass Ford So dump your overpriced, over-mileage lease and let Zott Ford make your wildest dreams for 2016 come true. Check out their astonishing deals and massive inventory at ZottFord.com.
Hillary's camp, by the way, has been taking a ton of shit for the comments by Gloria Steinem and Albright.
Oh, that did not help at the last moment there.
No.
Offend and patronize part of your base.
Mm-hmm. Well, they're trying to get their heads around why young women especially wouldn't be running to Hillary. I mean, we have a chance to make her the first woman president, as if that's the credentials needed.
Vote for gender.
Yeah, she's got a vagine. Come on, people. What's the matter with you? She has a vagine, we're pretty sure.
Allegedly.
Yeah, and she loves vagine. So how could you not vote for her? And so they kind of tried to guilt people into like,
Madeleine Albright, there's a special place in hell for women who don't support other women.
Yeah.
That's insane.
And it's insulting as shit. It's because
very insulting.
Which was it Steinem who was saying, well, they're going where the boys are, and the boys are going with Bernie. And so the women are just like young girls in love who are following the boys.
So ignorant, man.
They're following the boys when really they should be standing for the woman. And Hillary's just like, yeah. And people are just like, that fell so flat and was so utterly insulting to anyone with half a brain that they're like, inside the camp, apparently it's just like mayhem going, okay, get away from these psycho bitches immediately. Distance yourself. Run from Gloria Steinem and Madeleine Albright.
It's amazing, man, how they're trying to link themselves to the past and inspire people by that. This whole, reaching back to people like Gloria Steinem, Madeleine Albright, and also
which one of them was it? Madeleine? She worked on Clinton's.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Secretary of State. Right?
Yeah. Right.
But this idea that people give a shit, especially young people, about the Clintons' former reign. Yeah. It's just astounding. Mm-hmm. That's a huge disconnect for them. Like people who, when was he in office? I mean, 93, 94-ish.
Was it that early? Yeah. It must have been 98 to 98 or something. 99.
Right. I mean, come on. There's people who, what is this, 2016, Mike?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
There's people who were barely born. Yeah. If born at all. Yep. Who are now voting. And like, dude, really? Like that's like that's like asking me to go back to like, oh yeah, President Ford or Nixon, like, really? Yeah, what do I care? I care about that old man. And he got Bill stumping around trying to inspire this shit, and he's not the same guy he used to be, trying to tap into that. No. It's that fire. No. It's not gonna She's work. Not nearly the candidate he was. She has no charisma. No, you're totally right about that. When I watch her, she's got none of that, and she still hasn't figured out amplified sound. She's gotten better than she did. But hasn't mastered it anyway. You would think after 12 years of something, since that was going on, she would figure out the idea of a microphone and how to get up above people, that you don't need to scream into it like a mad woman. You sound like a psychopath. Anyway, Clinton confirmed to Rachel Maddow that she was going to take stock after the election results roll in. Yeah, people are predicting that they're going to nix a bunch of their campaign managers and stuff. Because that's the problem. Yeah, it's the campaign managers that are the problem. Yeah, that's what it is. Anyway, it'll be interesting. This is where I think this race gets really fascinating, is moving into some of these southern states. Yeah, and then into Super Tuesday. You're going to start to see very relevant votes. Like, what is it, like 2% of the delegates are in right now, and so much folk. Oh my god. Well, it's setting up momentum though is the key. Yeah. Hey, it's hard to believe, but spring is around the corner. Let Krista Jelski of Remax Suburban take care of your spring cleaning. When you list your home with Krista, she will have your whole house cleaned before it hits the market. Check out Krista's website at kristasellshouses.com or call her anytime at 586-918-0900. James Comey, the director of the FBI, said investigators are still not able to gain access to the phone of one of the terrorists from San Bernardino. Wow, that's amazing. Isn't that crazy? All the resources they have. Yeah. It's funny. Movies make it look so easy. You just get one dog in a room, give him a phone and a computer, and let him go to town. And within 30 seconds, he's got anything you need at all. And it's just, apparently, it's not quite so simple.
he told the Senate Intelligence Committee that the phenomenon of communications going dark due to more sophisticated technology and wider use of encryption is overwhelmingly affecting law enforcement operations, including investigations into murder, car accidents, drug trafficking, and child porn. We still have one of those killer's phones. We have not been able to open it. Comey and other officials have long warned that powerful encryption poses a challenge for law enforcement and national security professionals. Yeah, but you kind of had it. It kind of made it easier for everything for a long, long time, too. I mean, the fact is that technology has only existed in the last 20 years. And really, since the iPhone in 2007, 2006, it's only been a decade that you've really had like unprecedented access to how dumb we all are, just like texting everything we do. So, and
all the GPS pings and
yeah, right. It's been. So yeah, people are starting to get wise to that and going, fuck, how do I cover this shit up? I don't want some agency knowing where I am at all times on this planet as I move around. Like, that sucks. The last thing you want to do if you commit a murder is have your iPhone in your car. You don't want to do that.
Definitely don't. And you see it so often. Even the Virginia Tech murder thing is cracked because of the electronic fingerprints.
Yeah. When I kill Big E, it'll probably, what I'm going to do, what I think anyways, and don't tell anyone, assholes. I know we have one chick that works for the FBI, so please don't forget you heard this. But what I'll do is I'll call you, Jay, and just say, hey, buddy, just leave I'm going to call you, answer your phone. I'll pick up your tab for the bill this month. Just leave it open, and I'm not going to be there. And I'm just going to have an open phone call. Like, we're on the phone for a couple hours. I'll go take care of E.
Because that's what we do.
Bury him 20 feet into the ground.
Phone for a couple hours.
Well, yeah. Or somebody. I forgot.
Like
You'll wrap me out.
We just can't get off the phone.
But then at least there's a
hey,
record.
Mike,
like,
how you doing?
Mike's phone was at his house, and for 3 hours he was just yapping away with Jay.
Oh my God, Mike, what's going on?
Seriously, what are you doing? Oh my God!
Did you see her?
Did you see how K-Dog dressed today at work? That was amazing.
You wear the same hoodie he does every week.
God, what's with him?
Oh my God.
What a nerd.
What's with his hair?
You know why nobody likes him? Because he's such a nerd. Cut his hair off to get attention. Totally. Stupid helicopter pilot weirdo.
Rotocraft.
Yeah, we talked about K-Dog for like 3 hours.
I heard he sleeps in a hammock.
Of course he does.
That son of a bitch.
Be a good way to go, though.
You know what I mean? But then there's
the
that
fake phone call.
The fake phone call. Leave that line open for a couple hours. I go bury you 20 feet down on the ground, and then I'm accounted for.
Who's going to dig the hole for you, though, dude?
I don't know. I'll go to a site that's already pre-dug a hole.
Well, that's what I was going to say. What you do is you do a lot of that.
Cover him up.
Well, no, you do a lot of that. You do
it's
a lot
easier
of
to
that
fill the hole than dig it.
You might not want to deal with the hole, dude.
What am I going to do? Bury him?
Shovel? No, I think you gotta like throw him in acid or something, or dump him in a lake, because
lakes don't work.
The idea that you're using a shovel just doesn't. It's not believable to me. I think you're gonna fail hardcore. You're gonna get 2 shovels of dirt in, start huffing and puffing.
What the heck? That he falls in the grave with me, he murders me, and then he has a heart attack. And
investigators will be like, I don't know how this happened.
K-Dog says time to call Ed and bury him in the driveway. That's not a bad move. What I think I would do is I would just find a location that they're a new build sub where
I think you're thinking way too into this,
they've dug a basement, and I know tomorrow they're coming to do the cement thing, and then I just kind of stuff him down in the hole and throw a little bit of dirt on him. They're not going to pay that much attention. It's probably still dark out in the morning when they get started, and then they fill it in with cement. And
I think you're thinking way too much into this, because I'm very clumsy. You have a pool. Next summer, you can just fill the pool up, trip me into it, pretend like you didn't know I was out there, and then go crazy. I didn't even know he was over here.
The best idea E has ever had.
But how do I explain the bullet hole in your head?
Well, that's the point. You don't.
All the bruises on your body.
I mean, if you want,
you're not just going to drown yourself, E.
No, but you said
just throwing you in a pool isn't going to drown you.
No, you. God, dude, I can't believe I have to think about this, dude.
So I have to smack your head.
Yeah, hit me in the head. My head would have hit the freaking pool. I'd fall. I'd trip. I'd hit my head. I'd fall in. I didn't know I was even there.
We might need TCG to lend a hand here. Get boo food in the pool, and it'd be like the jacuzzi situation.
Oh, there you go.
Have E hit his head, drown them both.
Yeah, but then we lose TCG, which
break a few eggs.
Yeah,
he's adopted. Whatever.
His parents don't really love him.
Parents didn't love him anyway.
So yeah,
he doesn't listen.
Where's he adopted from? Is he a straight up Chinaman?
I don't know. Actually, I honestly don't know. But I know he lived in Kentucky for a little bit, and then he moved here. So that's all I know.
Hillbilly TCG. I like it.
I don't actually know though where he originally came from.
Yeah, neither does he.
An Asian hillbilly.
I know, dude. It's a weird situation. Who actually hates
Picture
it?
TCG in a straw hat with a piece of wheat coming out of his mouth.
Who doesn't like other Asians and doesn't like hillbillies? So he is kind of a complex, I suppose.
Yeah,
he does not get along with other Asians, and he doesn't like rednecks.
It's funny. I watched a movie, a documentary, if you will, and it's called Being Ginger. Scary group of individuals.
I can't believe they were able to.
Yeah, they made a whole
film this.
A ginger.
No. Oh, okay. Thank God. You wouldn't want a normal.
He doesn't want anything to do with gingers as far as like dating them. He's like, yeah, ginger can't date another ginger. Yeah. But he went on a hunt. He's trying to find a piece of ass. Apparently, he's struggling to find a piece of ass. And so he's interviewing people on the street. It's hilarious how blunt people are. They're just like, yeah, I don't really trust them. This one chick is just brutal. She's like, he's like, would you ever date someone like me? And she's like, oh God, no.
Are you kidding me?
Absolutely not.
Is he one of these completely pale, like freckled gingers?
And she's like, you're like a super ginger. Like you're one of the bad ones. I mean, you've like got really orange hair and a lot of freckles.
That just seems insane to me.
Yeah.
It's not real. They're not really subhuman.
Well,
I could see people not being attracted to that.
I could see that, but not like how you're describing it is almost like God no. Like
yeah, some people were God no.
Can you imagine if I said that about a black? Like, oh, would you ever date a black person? I was like, oh, hell no.
Well, there's a lot of people that would say that too.
There are, but I mean, it would get a different response if I said it.
Yeah, so I don't know what the point of this movie was. If it was trying to like get people used to the idea of assimilating and get people used to the idea of being around a ginger.
Yeah, I don't know. The fact that they're off their leashes and
running around. There's a convention in Europe that goes on where they gather, like they're uniting, dude. It's like a virus.
We can bomb that and be done with it.
It was really weird, but they had all these gingers in a room, and they're all kind of celebrities because they all are like that. But yeah, it's very, very strange group of people. And it was funny to see. I felt bad for him at one point though. He was talking about how he was abused as a child, like just by people bullying because of his red hair. And he says he's in class and he's like, yeah, I was crying because, so-and-so was being a dick to me because I'm a ginger and nobody likes you, ginger. And so he starts crying and the teacher's like, oh God, pussy Scott is crying again. He's like, lock it up, Waterworks, or I'm going to hang you upside down from the ceiling and invite the other kids over for a piñata party, something along those lines. And I'm like, that didn't happen. That's bullshit.
Yeah, if that's true.
Yeah, but it turns out he ended up interviewing that teacher and was like,
you confirmed it?
Do you remember that day in class? And the guy's like, yeah, I remember that. I love doing stuff like that. So yeah.
How old was the teacher at this point? Was he retired, I guess?
Yeah, he's in his 60s now. Gotcha. He's probably in his 40s at the time. But he's like, why would you say that? I was 7. Why would you? He's like,
Jesus.
I wasn't used to being around crying kids all day. And, I thought I'd make the room laugh a little. He was working out a routine. He was working out material for the class.
Laugh a little.
And this kid's like, I cried every day for like 2 years.
First grade teacher.
Yeah. What are you going to do? Yeah. So
would you rather be a ginger or an albino?
Ooh.
I got to go with ginge.
Yeah, unquestioned. Albino, that'd be awful, I think.
Yeah. Both of them have, is it translucent where you can see through?
Pretty much.
Yeah, I would think both of their nooses would be translucent. You would see veins and maybe an outline of a helmet or something, but
pink.
Yeah. Yeah. This girl was suggesting that this guy shave all his body hair because it's disgusting, and his facial hair. I mean, it's called Being Ginger. It's a documentary. You can see it on Netflix, but you want to know more about these strange people, you can. Why spend time sitting in traffic going to the game when you could spend the afternoon watching the game in the Ultimate Sports Lodge, Twin Peaks? At Twin Peaks, you won't find the standard menu of frozen foods that go out of a bag and into a fryer. You'll find the best kitchen in sports that's making everything from scratch right down to their ranch.
Oh.
Catch every big game at your
Crazy.
local Twin Peaks. Good food, cold beer, big screens.
Good point.
So why are they struggling? Maybe Kadog, maybe you know the answer. Why are they struggling so hard to get into this phone? Why is that so hard to crack an encrypted phone?
The way the encryption keys work is there's just so many possibilities that to try to brute force go through every single one, you would need like supercomputers in 20 years.
Really?
Yeah, that's how far
Well,
the
good thing we
technology's
have
come.
that. Supercomputers and 20
And
years.
20 years. I heard people saying that you could spend a lifetime trying to crack some of these and not get through it.
Yeah, I mean, most modern computers are using like 2048-bit encryption, and it's just
Obviously.
like, forget about it. There's no chance that you're going to come across the right key.
Why?
To unlock it.
What is it trying to do? Like, it's just coming up with random.
Yeah, it's like you apply a sort of algorithm to your data to like shift around everything, and
Obviously.
unless you know that method that was used, you can't shift everything back to make it readable. And the key that you're using is just so long that, you know, it's like when I was young, you used to have the password on the TV, like to get to the porn channels, and it'd be like 4 characters long. And so me and my friends, we'd sit there for a half a day and
Figure
we'd
it
start
out.
000, 001.
Oh,
And eventually we'd figure out your password. It would only take us half a day.
Really?
But now instead of being 4 characters, it's
a million.
It's over a million. It's in the trillions. So
Really?
you're not going to sit there and figure it out.
So you've got some computer behind the scenes trying to just whip through that.
Yes.
And that process could take a lifetime.
Yes. Like I said, even with like if you took every computer in the world and hooked them all together and had them all trying different sets of numbers, you'd probably still need 20 years to do it.
Wow. So the idea
So
that
we'll
you'd
get
have-
there. We'll get it.
Yeah, we're working on it. The idea that you'd have some nerd give him 5 minutes like on a CSI episode and he's going to crack it.
Yeah, not going to happen.
Not very realistic.
No, not at all.
Interesting. I don't know.
It's just that TV isn't real.
No, I know, but yeah, that's funny. I would just think the power of the Federal Bureau of
Yeah,
Investigations
you would.
behind the scenes could crack one asshole's iPhone from San Bernardino, but apparently not.
It's a problem.
Were you going to play something?
No.
I thought you were going to play something.
No.
The
I could
Oscars.
do this. I mean, if you want to hear something. Or I could go here.
He's got AIDS.
I didn't give him those aids.
And when he had those AIDS, I went to my synagogue and I prayed for him.
Big Magic Johnson.
What has he done? Can you tell me? Big Magic Johnson, what has he done?
Dude, Big Magic Johnson is filling up my Twitter feed at this point.
Sorry.
I'm seeing more tweets from people
What has he
tweeting.
done? Can you tell me? Big Magic Johnson, what has he done?
People are actually tweeting at Irvin Magic Johnson with the hashtag the Detroit Cast. Just what has he done? Big Magic Johnson.
I like to help minorities.
Maybe I thought about that this morning driving in here that maybe I should change it to Big Magic Johnson. Retweet me or something.
You
Just so really,
cunt!
maybe if he would see that.
Maybe.
But
How you doing on followers, by the way? Have you caught Jay yet?
no, I haven't.
You haven't. How are you
see.
doing, Jay?
I thought
I noticed you were tweeting fool yesterday.
thought I gained a couple yesterday. Let's see.
Did you? I gained a couple yesterday.
Did you?
I did.
Must have been your wit and
Yep.
your strong tweets. Let's see. I was in the 1760s yesterday. I have 1790. Did you gain
Whoa.
26 followers as well
Nope, I
yesterday?
did not.
No.
Huh.
Oh no.
Ooh,
It's
wow.
Well,
a rough situation, I guess.
did we not give E's handle out? Because we gave yours and mine out.
at Big E Detroit Cast. I think we did. Yeah,
Yeah,
we're pretty clear on that.
that's weird. Are you not accepting? Oh, you don't have to accept people, so
No, you don't.
that's that's weird.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's weird. Crazy.
I tweeted about
Almost like it doesn't matter.
feeling the burn yesterday.
Did you?
Yeah, I did because it was pissing me off. People kept saying like, well, obviously he's going to win New Hampshire. I mean, it's a neighboring state to Vermont. So obviously that's home field advantage for him. He's going to win that. And I kept thinking, like, I've been hearing that for months. And it's like, wait a minute. That's like suggesting that I would give a shit on any level about some senator from Ohio.
Right.
Like I would have some
Right.
weird loyalty to a senator from Ohio. Are you kidding me? Why? Of course I wouldn't. So I don't understand why Vermont and New Hampshire would be any different, but people keep pointing
Maybe a
to
little
that.
different just because of the relative size of those states. And I think there's
Yeah, maybe, but
more of a unification between those eastern states, but I agree with you generally.
Yeah.
Why would it?
But
But speaking of Vermont,
your tweet,
dude, how about these Vermont teddy bear commercials?
Yeah.
You know, and this has been around for years, and they rear their ugly head at Valentine's Day. Vermont teddy bears, I'm sure they've done a good job. I'm sure they've done well with these dudes who have no idea what to get their girlfriend or wife, right?
Yeah.
Dude, the commercial that's on now, I've never seen this, but they're selling these massive teddy bears.
I saw it
like
this
life
morning.
size. They're like 5 feet tall.
4 feet tall.
Whatever.
Yep.
They're enormous. And the way they portray this is like, you could not have given this woman a more special gift than this teddy bear. Guy walks in with the teddy bear, and she's just tickled that her beau would think so highly of her to buy a 4-foot teddy bear for her. And they go so far as to portray it as, you know, even if your guy's gone, you'll still have the teddy bear there. And they show this chick in this red negligee, like
she's banging the teddy bear.
Yeah, like she's getting cozy with this teddy. Oh,
Jesus.
Alluding to
dude,
it.
who the hell wants a massive teddy bear in their house? I have kids, and we have one of those massive teddy bears, and it is a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
Are you telling me some girlfriend or wife wants a massive teddy bear?
Yeah,
There's nothing,
I wouldn't think
there's
so.
nothing Gab would want less than a massive teddy bear for Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Well, they're trying to go the route of don't get roses because those die in a week. And then don't
it's
get her
perfect.
chocolate because then she's going to eat half the box and ask, do I look fat? Don't go there, guys.
I know, right?
It's like, no, man, you get her chocolate and then you eat most of them.
No, you
Isn't
get her
that usually how
oversized
it goes?
panties. Isn't that how you know?
Well, yeah, you could go that route too. What are you getting?
We talked about this yesterday.
I know. Do you
Definitely
know?
going tulip,
Yeah. You're not going with a star?
and then I'll give her,
Yeah.
take her to the closet and show her who's boss. The star, no, that's another thing, dude. But
Buying
Who's
someone
the
a
king?
star.
I am. You need a king? How much money are you gonna make today?
Enough to choke a baby.
That's right. Whose tits are these?
They're my tits.
These are the king's tits.
The king's titties.
That's right. Is it a king's dick?
It's slightly above average.
Yeah? You gotta stake your claim. You gotta stake it.
Take my claim.
that's real audio from last Valentine's Day.
Is it? That's amazing.
The closet at the Detroit Cast House. No, you mentioned the star too, dude. This
Yeah,
whole-
I wasn't familiar with the star, but I saw your tweet.
this whole you can buy a star for somebody, have a star named after them. Come on, man. You get like a certificate or something. They give you like a coordinate of some star that's there's a billion stars, right?
How
So
do
this-
they own that star
They
to,
don't.
to give away ownership rights to it? I mean, do you get the star? I mean, is it recognized
You get a piece of
internationally?
paper that says you get that star, Mike.
galactically?
No.
Are we recognizing the Gabrielle star?
The Intergalactic Senate will
Yeah.
recognize that.
I mean,
Yeah, so if they mine that star someday, do you get the natural resources from that star and
I
so
would
forth?
hope so.
I would
I would
argue you do.
Yeah.
The Gabrielle star.
Yeah, I know it's real popular to when we were growing up. I know. God damn it, son, Derek had a manatee,
He did.
and
I think he had a little African boy too.
no,
I think he did.
I know he had a manatee, and he would get update pictures, and he would hang them on the fridge and
Yeah.
shit, like he was proud of his manatee. And they'd be like, they'd show up, and there'd be scars on his back, and they'd be like, yeah, my boy's a champ. He's fighting out there. He's fighting the battle in the ocean.
Jesus
See, I
Derek would
remember
get all into it.
when I lived with Deuce, I swear to God, he had like little Papa Baba Diop or something like hanging on our fridge. A little African like 3-year-old
Would he
that
pen
he was
pal with him
supporting. Yeah, he was sending some sort of support to this
for the
kid.
cost of a cup of coffee? He
Yes.
owned an African
Yeah.
boy, or the pen pal rights
Yeah.
to a. He didn't own him.
He's forward thinking, maybe. I don't know. Good stuff.
Wow.
But anyway, yeah, you can do that shit. You can get kids. My parents have long like supported these international things.
Really? They've given multiple cups of coffee?
Yes.
To own the rights
Where
to a
we'll have
child,
some like
to an African
random
child?
Asian girl on our fridge, you know?
And what happens? I mean, I would assume like any new toy, you get bored of it, and then the letters.
I think
but
it
you're
sort of
frequent.
fizzles out after a while.
Yeah.
It's only once a month, probably. It's not like you're writing them every day
No, I don't think you have to write them at all, but they
Oh,
have to
thank
write
God.
you.
to tell you their
Yeah,
progress.
they're like
I've got
usually
new shoes.
Yeah, they're like usually in some Christian school or something in Zimbabwe, and their handlers like help them craft a little letter to you, and it's broken English, and
And is it handwritten?
yeah, little Papa Baba Diop would,
So let me get this straight.
oh,
You're
Mr.
giving
Derek.
for the cost of a cup of coffee.
Yeah.
which at the time was like 50 cents or something, 30 cents. We're not talking Starbucks coffee here. We're talking like Cup of Joe at Dunkin' Donuts, 50 cents a cup. For that a month, you could get a kid. Or was it a day? Was it a day?
Yeah, every day. Like
cup of coffee a day.
I think he gave like $20 or something. And
yeah. So what that kid, I mean, there's so much hidden costs that go into that. I mean, there's a whole organization that's helping them. I mean, that kid's probably seeing 1 penny out of that $20, and he's forced then to sit down and jot his thoughts down once a month.
It's a bit of a racket. I agree with you, Mike.
So you can feel good about yourself and hang this shit on your fridge.
It's a whole industry.
Outrageous.
It's a whole American industry to make us feel better about ourselves and our
Look
wealth.
what I'm doing.
Our relative wealth. Right?
Yeah.
Feel good about that.
Oh, those poor sons of bitches. They're just in a mining field sitting there just having to half-ass their way through a letter to send to the Detroit Cast family in Farmington Hills, Michigan.
You wonder if they even exist, right? These little kids, or if it's just some company just rattling off pictures of little kids with flies on their heads and shit. I don't know.
Yeah. Anyway, maybe I'll get Beth. That's what I'll get Beth. Maybe I'll get
African
her. Yeah, maybe I'll buy her an African boy.
Why don't you just get one of those things like a donation has been made in her honor to a tree or something?
Yeah, she's done that. She did that for Eid, Eid's birth, I think, or his 1-year birthday. She got him a tiger that's named after him or something. But it's basically just a donation has been made in your name to this zoo or something.
There's a tiger out there answering to the name Eid.
Or something like that. Yeah, I don't know if she got to name the tiger or if it's just like it's like the African
happy with that gift?
Well, Eid was one. I think gifts to newborns is so absurd and ridiculous. It drives me nuts because you have this guilt to get in there.
Get him a bond, man. Give him a $50 bond, $100 bond.
Yeah, is that the way to go?
Yes.
Like I get it when they hit a certain age, when they hit like 12 and they can appreciate toys.
Yeah.
Like fine, get them their Star Wars toys or whatever. But
you could go earlier than that. But
not at 1 and 2 though.
God,
at Christmas,
no.
it's obnoxious. Like seeing my brother and sister with their kids and Beth's nephews with their kids. It's unbelievable the shit that these 2-year-olds are opening up. It's like, yeah, you're not going to remember that at all. No, you're not going to remember that at all.
I hated those years. Like it like grew anxiety in me when I'd see these presents being opened, these big plastic things that I then had to find a place. Well, not only assemble, but then find a place for in your house. And it's just shit everywhere. It like bothered me. Like I would way rather have them got nothing for Christmas or savings bonds or something.
Yeah.
It made me anxious every Christmas. Like driving home, I'd just be like, oh my gosh, I can't believe the level of shit I have in the back of this truck right now.
Oh yeah, that would drive me nuts too. But that's not going anywhere anytime soon. I noticed that the kids, and we talked about it a little bit, but that there's so much of it that everybody wants to get them stuff. That there's so much of it that they can't. It's not even like Christmas anymore. It's just like, okay, rip open this box and then give me the next box so I can rip that open. It's like they don't even care what's in it.
Process it.
Yeah, there's no real process.
We used to take stuff all the time and just put it aside and not open it.
Really?
Like, oh, thank you very much. Yeah, that's great. And then we put it aside for like 6 months. And then in the middle of summer when they're bored, open up their new water table or some shit.
Really?
You know?
That's not a bad idea. Yeah, you could probably do that. I mean, obviously at a certain age, be harder to pull that off. But that 1 to 3 or 4 year old age,
they don't know what's going on.
Yeah, where those toys are huge and colorful.
You could take shit back.
Yeah.
Re-gift it.
It's not a bad idea.
What are you wrong with it?
I like the way you're thinking.
Just give it to again next year. That'd be a good idea. Why not?
Are you guys getting excited for the Oscars at all?
No.
I know you're not. I always feel like you have to watch that stuff so you're on the inside loop of whatever happens in that dumb world. But apparently they're knocking the speeches down again this year.
That's good.
Yeah.
No, but they have a real plan this year.
Yeah.
Like they've said that before and we'll start the music and all that stuff, but they have a plan. It's kind of interesting.
Yeah. The Academy has decided to create some new rules for this year. They will no longer allow winners to name those they feel indebted to during the speeches. Instead, the Oscars will roll a screen ticker behind them, like thanking all these assholes.
Awesome. Really?
Yeah. I wonder if that'll hold up. I imagine these self-important assholes will still find a way to fuck with that system.
Yeah.
I
I know the names are behind me, but I have to give a special thank you to blah, blah,
yeah,
blah.
they'll maybe do less, but you're right. I think they're going to still try to find a way.
How tacky is that going to look?
To have all these names scrolling. Yeah.
Idiots that nobody cares about other than that person.
It's got to be done in some elegant way, right? They're going to have some sort of like drapery behind them, and they'll be superimposed on there and in cursive, some calligraphy type writing.
Anyone's going to be reading them other than that person.
Which will be fun the next day for Photoshop enthusiasts who go through, and all of a sudden you and I are being thanked on people's walls and the Detroit cast and horrible things. Kind of like when Michelle Obama held up the sign that was like, "Bring back our girls," hashtag bring back our girls. Remember that when they cared about those missing kids?
Oh yeah.
What happened to those girls?
Yeah, well, we get the next news cycle hit a few hours later, and all of a sudden bring back our girls didn't matter anymore. But that sign, I've seen more shit written on that sign that isn't bring back our girls.
It's unfortunate.
Yeah, it happens. So I imagine that'll happen frequently with the thank yous scrolling behind these assholes, these self-important douchebags. But in addition, speeches have been cut down to just 45 seconds in an effort to keep the running time of the ceremony to a respectable level. I mean, it runs over like crazy every year. Their spin on this is, as you're probably aware, we don't want to embarrass anybody, but there is a long list of winners who have totally forgotten their directors, their husbands, their wives, their children, and their animals.
Oh, so it's helpful to them. So they'll have the list up there and ready to go.
So David Hill was speaking at a luncheon, an Oscars luncheon. He's the show producer. He said, "It's a permanent record which could be kept, even framed and kept in the family forever. Nominees will have to provide a list of producers of everyone they would like to express gratitude towards ahead of the winner's announcement." Don't be fooled by that statement. This is 100% to knock down the horse shit that goes on at these award shows, where they're thanking, like you said, makeup artists you've never heard of and never cared about, and they're spending a tremendous amount of time blowing each other in that room. But I don't know what they do. What are they supposed to say up there?
Well, now they have more time to give us their political views, which is awesome.
Oh, you're right. You're right. That's probably what it's going to turn into. Michael Moore did that last time he won, didn't he?
This is great news, Mike.
Yeah. But honestly, outside of that, what are they going to say?
Right.
I mean, isn't that the whole point, is to go up and thank the Academy and then thank every asshole you worked on this movie with?
No, I think ideally you're looking for some inspiring statement. Like,
yeah,
it's been a long road and
everybody can reach a dream if they want.
Yeah,
getting this movie made was a journey.
I think that's the ideal acceptance speech to the Oscar people, but
yeah. Do it like the Globes. Just get everyone liquored up and send them free.
Yeah, no, now they're giving more time to everybody who can criticize them for being too white. This might backfire, Mike.
Yeah. There was a tweet yesterday. I think Ellen Brooks sent it out about hashtag Oscars so white. I don't know if you saw that one.
Hating white people. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a pretty telling picture. That's the Academy, I take it.
Yeah. So it's a picture of the Academy, and go ahead, find a black person on there. Find one.
Well, it was my understanding the president of the Academy or Grand Poobah, whatever it is an African-American woman, right?
The Grand Poobah. Yeah, it's a chick, isn't it?
Yeah, I didn't look closely, but yeah, it looked like a pretty white group of 200 people or so.
Yeah. I think there are 600 in the Academy, though, right? Isn't that what we heard?
I remember looking it up, but I don't remember.
Maybe I can find it on Twitter. Show you guys. Want to give out our Twitter handles again, Jay?
At J Detroit Cast, at Big E Detroit Cast, at Walters Radio. There it is.
There you go. Don't you hate them all? Look at those sons of bitches.
Oh, I hate white people.
Yeah. That's the hashtag that goes with it. I think the hashtag is I hate white people.
Yeah, is
that a black dude back there?
Nary a brown face.
That might be one I found back there.
Yeah.
That looks a little Mexican-ish right there. Seen a little Latin in that one. The rest of them. Oh, I found an Asian. Look at that. They're represented. They're represented. But outside of that, yeah.
God, sitting there taking that.
Yeah, if I was standing in that room, I would look around and just go, yeah, I don't want to be preserved in this photo. I got to go to the bathroom, man. You guys go ahead without me.
But again, it goes back to show me a black movie, quote unquote, with black actors, actresses that got dissed this year that deserved it.
Yeah.
Creed, really? Are we going to point to Creed and Boys in the Hood?
Boys in the Hood.
What was it?
Compton.
Yeah, whatever.
Straight Outta Compton.
Straight Outta Compton.
Boys in the Hood was a good movie back in the day. Yeah, and I finally saw Mad Max, by the way.
Tell me that's best picture material. Can
It's
you?
not bad, though. It's not bad. It's not as bad as I did. Did you see it?
Yeah, and I thought it was horrible.
Did you really? I didn't think it was as bad as I thought it was going to be.
That's their best case right there. Chip away at that. How does a freaking remake of a Mad Max movie get up for best picture?
Well, how does the 7th installment of the Rocky movie garner votes either? You know what I mean? Creed is basically
Well, then
a
argue
reboot.
Boys in the Hood or whatever the hell it's called. Straight Outta Compton. Are you that, or are you your concussion movie?
The problem with Straight Outta Compton is it's a well-done documentary. That's all it is. It's a docudrama.
There's Boys in the Hood.
Yeah.
There's a Cube.
Yep.
Cube was in that with Cuba Gooding Jr. Speaking of which, you did not watch OJ last night.
I didn't. I haven't seen it yet. I fell asleep.
I wonder what happens.
I don't know. Last I knew, he was in a Bronco. I hope he gets away.
I think he kills himself.
Do you? Don't spoil it. No
I don't
spoilers.
know for a fact, but that's my guess.
I had fun tweeting that last week too, by the way, where I was like on Twitter, like, oh my God, I'm watching this OJ movie and I'm starting to think maybe he did it. You know, no hashtag no spoilers. And people are like, are you kidding me?
Oh, Jesus.
Like, are you?
Yes.
People that I've never seen before are popping up in my Twitter feed from all over the country, like, yeah, it's a pretty famous story. I think he did do it. And you're like, dude, really?
Come
fucking
on.
Twitter. Do you really think I'm questioning whether or not OJ's guilty of murder? Asshole.
Someone's thrown through that hashtag or whatever, and then they're seeing yours and this motherfucker.
Yeah. The Super Bowl commercials, we talked about those the other day. One of them in particular has hit a nerve, apparently.
Outrage.
Did you guys figure out which one?
I might have
The
heard of it.
notion that a fetus could have been humanized.
What?
My God.
A human fetus
Yes.
is human. Get out. Since when?
Yeah.
Now it's the Doritos.
I heard
Super
that this
Bowl
was,
ad.
but I didn't heard this was, but I didn't understand that's what it is. That's what our argument is, that the human fetus was made.
Yeah, they're humanizing.
Wow, that's the single most boring sentence I ever heard.
They're humanizing
what are you gonna
fetuses. That's what they're guilty of. Humanizing fetuses. The prominent New York-based pro-choice organization NARAL, N-A-R-A-L, all caps. What is that? What is that an acronym for?
National Association, whatever.
For the removal of all life?
Right.
Is that what it is? National Association for the Removal of All Life.
Gotta be
Okay, good. Glad we figured that out. NARAL took to Twitter accusing the makers of the ad of using anti-choice tactics and reinforcing sexist tropes.
Dude, this lady's like she's standing there or sitting there with a freaking fully developed fetus in her belly.
Yeah. I think the doctor starts by saying, any day now. It's hilarious. Now, I agree with that. This does kind of irritate me in commercials. I would never go bitch about it. I would never want someone fired for it. But this use of the bungling male character, white male, only white male. You have bungling idiot white male character, and bitchy white wife. That whole scene, they're
been the
pointing to that
sitcom scenario since 1970, right?
Right. Well, it's gotten worse.
Well,
it seems
80s,
like
really.
we're able to be a target more because we're not going to bitch very much about it. But yeah, the clueless guy, the guy that's like, honey, where do we keep the lids for this? And he's just digging through drawers like an ape.
Yeah.
You know, that guy, and then he needs genius woman to come in and save the day for him, like that whole thing. It shows a couple watching the ultrasound as the doctor says, and there's your beautiful baby any day now. And so she turns to her partner and he's just mowing on Doritos like some numbskull idiot white guy. Duh! It's an important moment in his life. He's just chowing on Doritos. And so the kid, so what is it? He's like waving the Dorito. They figure that the fetus in the belly is like, oh my God, I see a Dorito.
He's reacting to his father waving a Dorito above.
Yeah. And his wife, like any good American woman would do, tells him to knock it off and slaps the Dorito out of his hand because he's being immature, like does. And so when she snaps that Dorito out of his hand, it goes flying across the room and the baby dives out after it. And so the baby is So people took that as like a shot at premature births. And this
reading way too into, this is the same company that brought us the Dorito finger glory hole. If you'll remember, last year before that, maybe. Gross, dude.
So gross,
just disgusting. Guy on the other end just sucking on this dude's fingers. Oh, and I don't remember any outrage after that.
Yeah, that was the glory hole one. That's a great one.
So gross.
You're right. That was gross.
Here he is. He's got Dorito fingers.
Oh.
Yeah, just stick your finger in that hole. And it cleans them.
Touchdown.
Yeah, it only works with Doritos.
Why only Doritos?
You ask too many questions, Billy.
The guy on the other end of the hole.
Try it with your dick.
Oh, sick. Ah! Dude, if there's ever an objectionable Doritos commercial.
Yeah.
Tell me the fetus is it? Are you kidding me?
Yeah, that is a disgusting commercial. That's kind of funny though. So anyway, they go on. If some of the anti-abortion camp jumped on the opportunity to poke fun at Nerl. If Nerl is scandalized by the notion that a human fetus is a human, they are scandalized by science. The pro-choice group also took issue with a Snickers ad for being transphobic. What's Snickers ad was transphobic?
Don't remember a Snickers ad.
The only one I remember was the one with Willem Dafoe, where it was Marilyn Monroe.
Yeah.
Oh, that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
those shitting
right. Those Snickers ad, we've seen that before, where there's a really ornery person, then you give them a Snickers, and they turn physically into a whole different person.
They did it with the Brady Bunch last year.
They did it with the guy from My Cousin Vinny, I think.
Joe Pesci.
Yeah, Joe Pesci was in one of those.
Yeah,
this one, like you said,
Roseanne Barr didn't she do one of those Snickers?
It's her whole campaign is that when you're not you when
when
you're hungry.
So Willem Dafoe is dressed up as Marilyn Monroe, the famous subway scene.
Yep,
he's ornery. They give her a Snickers, turns into Marilyn.
Yeah,
transphobic.
How
is it transphobic? I mean, that to me, it's almost positive toward trannies because here we got another guy in a dress.
Yeah,
I don't know.
People used to it. Yeah, there it is.
Sweetheart, don't look at me like that. It's going to be amazing.
This is a disaster. Who's the genius who puts a girl in heels on a subway grate?
Miss Monroe, eat a Snickers.
Why?
You get a little cranky when you're hungry. Better?
Much better.
Oh, that's so transphobic. All right.
Never.
This organization just wants attention. We've
Yeah.
talked about them enough. Don't
Yeah.
even mention the National Association of
The
getting rid of all life.
National Association of Ridding All Life. Was that what it was? Well,
Done with them.
all right, we won't mention their name. But they're not the only ones that found the ultrasound one disturbing. Lots of celebrities came out too. The Sklar brothers. Nothing more appetizing than an extremely premature birth. Way to go, Doritos. Mindy Kaling. The Doritos head was chilling. Amanda Dodge commented.
God, nothing more disturbing than that. Nothing.
Amanda Dodge commented, alternatively titled, made by white dudes for white dudes, never eating Doritos again.
Oh, no.
How is that such a white dude commercial?
I have
you could
I was
easily
hoping you would
put a
c-
black
answer that.
couple right there. And what?
Yeah,
Put a black woman, a white guy, an Asian woman, and a black guy. Whatever.
That's outrageous.
Asian woman, black guy. Come on, that's not outrageous.
Well, that they would be fighting with the Doritos and stuff is the outrageous part. Yeah.
Tell Russell Simmons that, Mike.
Why? Oh
he
yeah,
married to an
he
Asian
was. He's not still married to her.
Whatever.
She was kind of hot.
Mm.
You didn't think so?
I barely remember what she.
She had a
Who
dumb
was she,
name.
Kimmy or something. Or
I thought she had a dumb name. I think they got divorced, but whatever.
yeah, Kim. It was Kim something.
Was it?
Yes, Kamara.
Yeah,
or
that's
some
that.
shit.
Yeah. They
They are
did a
divorced.
dumb reality show, or she did a dumb
Yeah, she
reality
was
show.
supposedly Kimura.
Kimora Lee.
Supposedly some great fashion designer. Some crap.
Kimora Ree Simmons. Yep.
Ah.
Yep. American.
See, it happens.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Black guy, Asian chick.
Yep. Some former model, fashion designer.
Really?
Yeah, she married Russell Simmons. She married a billionaire. That's her claim to fame. So good for her. Anyway, why don't we take a quick break? I got to tell you about this documentary that's coming out about a story of cannibal in Germany.
Oh, I'm intrigued.
Oh, I want to see it so bad.
I think I remember this one, Mike.
Do you really?
Ugh.
I vaguely do, but I not really.
There's a fact in this story that I can never forget.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go. There's your teaser going into the break. We'll be back in a minute.
The Detroit Cast continues after this short break.
Hey, it's me, one of the football gods. I decide if the ball bounces your team's way or not. And there's no better place to watch me work than Twin Peaks. That place is football heaven, and I should know. I'm a god. The beer selection at Twin Peaks is divine, pun intended. Tons of choices, including local craft selections served at an icy 29 degrees. Throw in HD action in every direction, and you've got pigskin paradise. So spend this season at Twin Peaks. I command it.
Friends, it's me again, Steve Gabarro, the general manager at Zott Ford and Holly. The nasty cold grip of old man winter is upon us, and there's no better way to beat it than driving a new F-150 from Zott Ford. Lease a new 2015 F-150 Super Cab XLT 4x4 for just $288 a month, zero cash due at signing. Or you can buy a new 2016 Ford F-150 for as low as $24,200. Yes, I said buy a new F-150 for as low as $24,200. Folks, these deals are hotter than the water in Big E's mop bucket. So please hurry down to I-75 at exit 98 to take advantage of these smoking hot deals before they take a knee like Big E.
The Detroit Cast continues now, bitches. Here's Mike and Jay.
People are going to start thinking that's actually in the backwood now. Welcome back to the Detroit Cast, Mike and Jay. And I've watched a lot of documentaries of late. Soaked in Bleach is one you have to watch. The one on Kurt Cobain.
That sounds interesting. I've been seeing more and more about that.
Yeah,
on social media.
It's good. I watched it a year ago, but I happened to catch some of it over the weekend again. And I was thinking to myself, Jay would like this a lot as a Nirvana fan.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, there's just so many things in that story that you can't. It's not just like fan rumors. It's like investigators that worked on the thing. Some hired, but the main guy was hired by Courtney. And he's like, look, I'll dig into this, but you might not like what I find. And she's like, that's okay. This drugged out idiot.
Yeah.
And yeah, she's not going to like what he found. But if you haven't seen it, it's a good documentary. It's a little old, a year old or so, but very cool. I think you'll dig it.
Sort of the same thing as a making a murderer, where there's this big outcry to reopen the thing. And
yeah, one of the cops that was working at the Seattle PD at the time is on record there saying, if I was still working for the Seattle PD, I would reopen that case.
Wow.
So yeah, I mean, some bold statements.
Ian Halperin, was that who we talked? No, we didn't talk to him about Courtney, did we?
We touched on it a little. We were talking to him about Whitney and Bobby's.
That's right.
Kid.
But he was all about that too. Like
he wrote a book about that.
Yeah.
Yes, he mentioned that in our interview with him. You're absolutely right. Yeah, maybe we could talk to him about it if you watch it. And like
I'll take a look, man.
Yeah. Another documentary that I want to see is about this case out of Germany with this notorious German cannibal. Dude, I just don't get the whole cannibal thing.
Yeah, I don't.
On
record, it's not really getting that as well.
I mean, we're basically animals, and I love eating animals. You just think that we would make that logical step, like, he went down, he died. What are you going to do? He's probably delicious. Let's try it out. I mean, solve world hunger. And that goes on in some African countries. You've seen that. There's some brutal video out there. People just like hacking limbs off people for food. Ugh.
What do we decide? You would be a nice marbleized meat.
Someone decided that. I didn't decide that.
I think we decided you would be the best to eat.
Yeah, you would be the worst to eat. You would suck as a meal.
Yeah.
I think they said, and I would probably be absolutely delicious.
You would be
Don't get any ideas.
Diseased and shitty. Nobody would want to.
Yeah. Anyway, this guy, he describes in shocking detail how he killed and ate his gay lover. Yeah. With his permission, though. I think that's an important detail. With his permission. This wasn't just some random dude I decided to eat. He wanted me to. He gave me permission to eat him.
Oh, can you imagine how twisted these two are? That they're having this conversation.
Yeah. Armin,
like, I don't doubt it that his gay lover wanted him to eat him. Like, I'm not sitting there like, oh, that's bullshit. He killed him and then said, dude, these people are effed up, man.
Dude, look at that guy.
Yeah.
That guy ate someone.
Doesn't he look like he wants to yell, God damn it, Marcel!
Yes.
Marcel!
I was going to say, doesn't he look, he absolute central casting for German villain, doesn't he? God damn it, Marcel. Hitler did a lot of good for this country.
Smile big.
Smile big, Ermin. There he is. Smile big for your mugshot, Ermin.
Oh, that guy. Human flesh has passed over his lips.
How they have. Well, many times it turns out. Armin Meiwes is his name. He became one of the most famous cannibals in history after killing and consuming this 43-year-old computer nerd. Burned Brandeis in 2001. The pair met after Brandeis posted an advertisement online entitled "Dinner or Your Dinner," and offering the chance to eat me alive.
Wow, he posted that in a okay.
Meiwes has given horrific insight into the killing, which stunned the country. I decorated the table with nice candles, he says. I took out my best dinner service and fried and ate a piece of a rump steak. So is that his ass?
Yeah, I think so.
I made what I call princess potatoes. Sprouts. Sounds delicious.
Sounds like a good meal.
He gave the interview for this documentary called Docs, Interview with a Cannibal. After I prepared my meal, I ate it. Marcel. The first bite was, of course, very strange. It was a feeling I can't really describe. I'd spent nearly 40 years longing for it, dreaming about it, and now I was getting the feeling I was actually achieving this perfect interconnection through his flesh. It tastes like pork, but stronger.
Stronger. In what way? The pork-like taste?
Yeah, I don't know what that means. He said he became the first person in Germany to be charged with murder for sexual satisfaction. After the pair met, they went to this guy's isolated farmhouse where they had sex. They just fucking got it on. But according to Mewes, Brandis was not satisfied because he wanted to be eaten alive.
Dude.
Yeah. He then swallowed 20 sleeping pills and a half a bottle of schnapps before Mewes cut off his dong.
Well.
With his agreement. Very important. With his agreement. And that's a quote. And fried it for them to share.
See, that's the fact I remember from this case.
It is. That's the one.
I remember this case, man, because of that. Just the visual of him with a little pan, just sauteing that thing.
Yeah,
just rolling it around like a sausage,
like a hot
Imagine
dog.
Just taking a fork and turning it over.
Oh no! Do you put it in some oil? How do you fry it? Do you bread it? Do you?
I think you at least butter it. Put a little butter at the bottom of the pan.
Well, yeah. I mean, does it go well with a zip sauce? Would you put a
nice
zip sauce
Chianti and
some
farver beans?
Yeah. Put some butter in a pan, some zip sauce. I mean, or what goes good with pork?
I don't think you go any sauce, man. I think best you butter it so it doesn't stick to the pan.
Yeah.
Maybe spray some Pam. But I think you want that panous taste.
Yeah.
That's what you want. You're looking for that. You're curious about what the panous tastes like.
Doesn't fried panous? I would think that would stink. Burning flesh isn't good, typically. Anyway, he after they enjoyed his panous, he ran a bath for this guy and read a Star Trek novel to him while checking on him every 15 minutes.
A Star Trek novel.
Yeah. He eventually
a Star Trek novel.
You can't make this stuff up. He eventually killed Brandis in the early morning hours by stabbing him in the neck.
Damn, man, you stabbed me in the neck.
After eating his noose. What would you rather have? Your noose cut off and eaten or stabbed in the neck? Oof. I know it's not a good option.
Read a Star Trek novel. Then Spock said to Kirk, live long and prosper. What the hell? A Star Trek novel?
That's really what you're taking issue with in this story? You're hung up on the Star Trek novel? Really?
It's the fact I wasn't aware of. I knew about the rest.
It's a nice little twist, isn't it?
Yeah.
It kind of humanizes them in a way. It's like, oh yeah, I'm familiar with Star Trek. I'm not familiar with eating my friend's panous, but I am familiar with Star Trek.
Then Scotty exclaimed, Captain, she can't take much more of this. She's gonna blow. Really? A Star Trek novel?
I know.
Shit.
He eventually killed him, stabbed him in the neck, and then chopped him to pieces. I mean, obviously, you want to store some in the freezer for later.
Did he freeze him? Yeah.
Yeah,
Kept him for later?
froze. Well, not all of them. That would be absurd.
Smartly froze.
He buried the head in the backyard. A lot of people do that. There was that Russian lady too that did that.
The head's in the backyard.
Yeah, she had a head in a crock pot.
Damn it, a crock pot.
Yeah, she had a head in a crock pot. They had video of her like going downstairs with her little crock pot. She was like an 80-year-old nana too.
Dude,
she killed her friend.
They have video of this?
Yeah, there's video of her doing it. She was burying parts of her in the garden and stuff.
Damn it.
Nice, sweet old lady. Very sweet. You see her, you're just like, oh, you wanted to hug her.
The little
adorable
nana.
little. Actually, no, she looked like a hideous woman.
Really?
She was hideous. Yeah. But I remember that the head was in the crock pot. She's like, oh, every time you open it, no, it's looking at me. Oh. I don't, there's no reports though that she read any Star Trek novels to anybody, just for the record. I don't know if that's a thing with those people. Mewes filmed this entire thing, by the way, 4 hours. So in front of the jury, they showed 19 minutes of this video. Imagine that as a jury. Like he's filming them eating the panous and cutting this dude up and putting parts in the freezer. 4 hours.
What else do you need to see?
Yeah. And they said that video is not in the documentary. It's absolutely too gruesome, which I can imagine it would be. By the way, he's a vegetarian now. He went to prison and he's now vegetarian. Nice little side note.
Psycho.
Yeah. So one Panoose apparently was enough for him, and now he's meatless.
Not everybody can say they've actually eaten a Panoose. Ladies, I know you're out there going, well, you know, you haven't actually eaten one.
Yeah.
I mean, you may have had it like halfway down your throat, but you haven't actually ingested the Panoose.
Or chewed on the Panoose.
Yeah.
Is that what you do? Do you chew on a Panoose if it's...
I think it's like a sausage, man. I think you slice it up.
Mm.
Right?
Yeah.
You don't just pick it up with a fork and do you? I think you slice it. That's what I do with sausage. I don't just stab and go. I bet Big E does that. Just stabs it, and it's a big sausage on his fork.
Yeah,
he eats it
I
up.
don't really eat sausages that often. I eat hot dogs, but I don't.
Well, we know
Polish sausage.
But if you did, right?
I didn't know TCG was Polish.
No, I would not just eat it one fork full. I don't
could
cut
see
up
you
to that
doing
many.
That's not an outrageous statement.
I don't
could
cut
totally
up. I don't
see you
cut up
doing
into
that.
probably as small pieces as some people do, but I tend to eat bigger chunks of food at a time, I suppose, which I'm constantly berated for at home. But
yeah, you
I don't
should
really
be.
care.
And here,
your mom scolds you for eating too big of chunks. Cut up your food, Eric.
My mom doesn't, but my dad always just said, it's always, I eat fast also, and my dad's always like, sit down and enjoy your food. I'm like,
you miss your mouth half the time.
I don't know. Whatever.
Food falls out of you like a cartoon. When you see someone chowing down in a cartoon and food's just going everywhere.
Yep, good point.
That's how he eats. It's infuriating to watch.
Especially when it's your floor.
Yeah. Yeah. Because he's not going to clean it up afterwards. Speaking of food, did you see Chipotle was giving away free burritos?
Oh, because all the poop they've been serving? So it's kind of like, sorry for serving poop. Here's free burritos.
Yes. That's exactly what it was.
Dude, I've heard business experts say, like, they're not going to recover from this. Like,
really?
Chipotle is going down.
Well,
their sales.
What if they
so
promise
poor.
not to serve poop anymore?
You can promise all you want.
Yeah.
It's one of these things. It's like, they didn't know they were serving poop before until somebody tested it.
Roosevelt survived when they were serving.
Oh, did they?
Poop?
Really? They serve poop?
Yeah, in the salad or something.
Oof, that's where it always happens, in the leafy greens.
Derek and I went in there one night. It was long after we worked there, and we sat there, and they're like trying to take our order, and we're like, "Yeah, I'll have a. Can we get a large pepperoni pizza?" And they're like, "It's not funny." we went down their entire menu and incorporated feces, shit, or poop into every menu item they had and tried to order it. And the joke never got old.
One could argue they deserve it. They serve poop.
Yeah.
Apparently.
They did. There were some E. coli issues, which is what Chipotle is going through right now. You see what I did there, E?
Yes, I do see what you did there.
They what they did was on Monday, they had a mass meeting. They got all their people together and they were like, listen,
all their best minds.
Yeah. Days of serving feces in burritos apparently has come to a crashing, screeching halt. From this minute forward, no one is able to sell feces in the burritos. It's getting people sick and they're not happy about it. Everybody got that. And they had this like national meeting across the board and we're like, no more feces in the food.
No more poop.
Yeah, at all. Under no circumstances do I want to hear about one of you guys getting cute, sticking a finger in your friend's butt, and then wiping it across someone's burrito. It ends today.
Can't do it.
Can't have it happen. And so while they were having this big powwow of a meeting,
the refried beans are actually refried beans.
Yes, they are.
That's it.
They posted something on their door. It said, "Sorry, we're having our no more feces in the food meeting right now.
It's a poop-free zone."
Yes. If you came here,
we don't even have a bathroom anymore. It just there's an outdoor toilet.
Yeah.
People aren't even in here anymore.
So if you came here to enjoy our delicious lunch and we can't serve it right now because we're having our no more poop in the food meeting, text us at this number and we'll hook you up with a free burrito.
That's it. That's how you had to show up during that period.
Yeah.
They should have just had a day where flat out for lunch for 2 hours or something. The idea that you had to be there that day.
Well, they were closed, so they were like,
I know.
It was intended to be like people that are showing up for lunch unaware that there was poop and burritos. Those people would show up and then the door's locked and they're like, "What?" And they're like, "Yeah, sorry, we're having our shit meeting. So just text this number. We'll send you a coupon for a free burrito."
Right.
But you're probably getting some people that are just ignorant and they don't even know what even happened instead of the people that realize it and are not going to your store at all anymore.
Huh.
Yeah. Well, so people start texting this code. I think it was 888-222. Well, apparently there's some lawyer in Washington, D.C., who was like 1 digit off from that. All of a sudden, he starts getting hammered with text. A bunch of big E's are trying to dyslexically text this guy. I want my burrito. I want my burrito. And he's like, what the fuck are you talking about with your burrito? And he finally figures out that they're offering this thing. And so he's like, yeah, I don't work for Chipotle. And some guy's like, where's my burrito, bitch? Where is my free burrito, bitch? He's like, so he ends up going into Chipotle and showing them. And they said that the manager shrieked, was like, like got freaked out at how many people had texted this guy, like 300 people. Where's my burrito, motherfucker? And so they gave him like a bunch of gift cards for free burritos for his trouble.
Poopless for the record.
Well, that's, yeah, from this day forward, no more. But apparently it's over. If you go to their website now, it was only for Monday for those hours during the meeting. If you happen to show up or get this text thing, they would hook you up with a free burrito.
Oh, an unfortunate phone number.
Yeah. 888-222. Who has that as a phone number?
Yeah.
And how do you screw that up? Seriously. I don't understand it.
Seriously.
Surprises.
Seriously.
Did you see? We haven't talked about the newest billionaires from the Powerball winners. Remember that thing got over $1 billion? I
do recall that.
What did it get up to? 1.6?
Something like that.
Yeah. The one family came forward immediately.
Tennessee,
yeah. And then we had the ones from Chino
What about
Hills
those
in
assholes
California.
Remember it was the Tennessee ones? Those are ones that weren't they were still gonna show up to their job on Monday.
Yeah.
She was gonna be filing
Yeah, I wonder
paperwork.
where that stands.
I want to find out.
What are we,
There's
a month into that effort?
4 weeks.
She's still there filing reports.
Dude, if they should take their winnings away by law. Seriously, if you're dumb enough to show up for a $12 an hour filing gig after becoming worth $300 million or whatever it is, you're an idiot and an asshole. You're an asshole at that point.
I would agree.
So you don't deserve the money.
Give it to some people who want to like use it crazily, go on trips and shit.
That was John and Lisa Robertson from Munford, Tennessee. As Jay said, they claimed they were going to keep working, but the officials announced the winning tickets in Florida were at a Publix supermarket.
Right. Been there many times.
Yeah. It seems like an odd name, Publix. Anyway, that was in Melbourne Beach, Florida, and at the 7-Eleven in Chino Hills, which we saw that the Indian owner there is like, yes, I got $1 million. Good to
Plus
share it with Steph.
plus the other people that were outside waiting for like the person to show up or something.
Yeah,
or
it's like a
fanfare.
community gathering.
Yeah.
It's weird.
Was going to sign autographs or something like.
Yeah,
we're just happy for whoever won it. No, you're not. Are you kidding me?
They said the other two families have not come forward yet. Still, after 4 weeks.
See, I can see getting my ducks in a row, but at the same time, man, I'd start to get paranoid. Like something was going to happen to the ticket, which I'm sure is locked away.
But then who knows you have it? How many people know?
But then, like, I don't know, like something would happen with the lottery, or I'd be just paranoid. Like, I haven't claimed this yet, and then all of a sudden the bottom drops out from under this, and somehow I'm not going to get. I would be entirely by now a month in, like really anxious about that.
Yeah, I would too. I'd want to start spending some money too. I mean, let's be honest.
Yeah, they're just waiting for the media to die down on this. Like
they're speculating. They don't know. I mean, for all we know, there's some guy that played the lotto
and doesn't know,
threw the thing away. I'll never win, and has no clue that they won. That could be the case in Chino Hills. It could be the case in Florida. They just don't know. No one's come forward. They said it's not that rare where people would get their things in order, affairs in order, and all that. But I would think that if you were, and you might know more than I would, Jay, but with that kind of money on the line, don't you think a lawyer would be like,
I don't know
this is what I
don't
do?
know why you need a lawyer for this? Go get an accountant and a financial advisor. I mean, I don't know that why a lawyer would be so central to this process. I mean, go maybe just to explain to you the rules if you need somebody to read the fine print to you.
Mm-hmm.
But dude, get an accountant and Merck.
Yeah.
Go get Kyle Mayer and Merck and get this done.
But they all say that you need to get a lawyer, you need to get an accountant and a financial guy. So they could literally call Jay Detroitcast, Merck, and Kyle, and the three of you guys could put your heads together and apparently make this
I mean,
work.
if you want a tax lawyer to talk about that, but I would think an accountant could. Sure. Okay. Yeah. Go get a tax guy.
Well, they said it's been they have 60 days to claim this. Otherwise, they can't do the lump sum payout.
Ooh. Get it done, people. You're crazy if you don't take that.
Yeah. So I don't know. And I just don't know what would take so much time when they, like you're saying, like what is it that a lawyer would need 60 days to get your affairs in order? You're probably some simpleton that has very few affairs anyways. I mean, you're playing the lotto, for Christ's sakes. You file papers for $15 an hour or whatever. What do we need to get in order here?
God, is it possible that somebody won it and doesn't realize it? You
Yeah.
see that happen all the time with smaller, but that was so front and center. That was the news of the week, the 2 weeks that was going on.
Yeah. I would think that they would like that would become, as it go, the further it goes, I would think that would be almost become a bigger story. Like, think about it. Like, if it was sold at your local 7-Eleven down the street, like that whole community would be going, who bought a ticket to that at that one? You'd think they'd be going through tapes to figure out surveillance tapes. Like, it's just such a narrow, small pocket of people. Chino Hills is very well to do, so maybe it's some rich asshole stopped on his way home from work one day, and
the rich get richer.
Yeah. How pissed would you be if it's some asshole worth $30 million that won the lotto? Oh, I want to kill him. Jay, I'm going to disappoint you here. This is a sad story. I'm sorry. I hate to do this to you because I know how much you love Nanas, and our friend Dirtface Nana.
Well, the Dirtface, of course, was real scary.
A guy broke into this Nana's house.
No.
And same type of thing. Wanted to steal some shit, steal the TV.
They put me down in the floor, and then one of them sat on me.
Well, Otis Dupree, I think he duct taped this Nana.
They tied my hands and put a gag in my mouth.
And she suffocated.
Oh,
I screamed, but nobody heard me.
That's the thing, man. Little Hazel was just moments away. She had wet herself in the back of the.
It's a 2001 Neon.
Mm-hmm. Otis Dupree. There's my man, Otis. And Otis is spelled O-D-E-S. Otis Dupree.
And shit.
Hell yeah. He was found guilty of 2 counts of felony murder, malice murder, robbery, kidnapping, and burglary. His victim was Florence Duke.
Oh,
Florence. She was found dead, tied up in her bedroom in her apartment in Douglasville, Georgia. She appears to have died from asphyxiation. The 75-year-old's face.
75, huh?
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah. Had been covered by Dupree, who allegedly made a phone call to a drug dealer in Atlanta. That's how this guy got busted. Called a drug dealer in Atlanta. Was like, yeah, I need help with this TV and shit.
Trying to move an old lady's TV. It's probably like a 1989 Magnavox.
While she's gagged in the other room.
Shit.
Just, trying to catch her last breath. So they go and they got a court order to look at her phone records and saw that this asshole made a call to a drug dealer in Atlanta looking for yo, man, give me a hand moving this TV and shit. And so they were able to
there it is.
Look at that. I think we had that TV.
Look at that son of a bitch.
This thing literally weighs 2 tons, man. I'm gonna need a hand in shit.
It's a Zenith.
Look at that tube.
It's like it's got the chest of drawers built around it.
Is that thing being, is that picture being taken with one of those, like you have to get under the sheet and the bulb goes off, the flash bulb goes off?
It's like a 32-inch Zenith, man.
One of those cameras where in the 1800s when no one smiled, it was because you had to hold that fucking smile for 20 minutes while that picture took. Just stand there, smile big with it. Look at that tube. We used to watch football games on that shit.
Oh, yeah.
Unbelievable. So the drug dealer was arrested. There you go. The drug dealer was arrested, leading police to Dupree. The TV was later recovered. Also found Dupree's fingerprints on the stolen items.
Simple missteps.
He was trying to pay off some drug debts in his defense.
Come on, Otis.
I don't know if that changes anything, but he had some outstanding drug debts, which is never good. And he was trying to pay those off.
Trying to be fiscally responsible.
Yep. And so he figured, I know my out. I'm going to dirt face this old woman.
Well, the dirt face, of course, was real scary.
I mean, that's the automatic go-to move. If you're gonna, if the idea is to surprise an old person, bang, dirt face. I mean, instantly you've changed the subject. You're in control of this now as we go forward. They've got to deal with the whole dirt in the face.
You talk about the element of surprise. Holy shit.
Yeah. So I don't know if he did that, but then the gagging, and he did his asphyxiation wrong because he ended up killing her.
She wasn't that old, man. I mean, we had Hazel at 86. She was only 75.
You're getting worse at it. I knew that was coming. I didn't know where.
But yet you couldn't stop it.
I couldn't stop it. No. Yeah. We have reason to believe that he'd been in her house before. So I don't know if he was banging this chick or what, we don't know.
It was his side.
It was a side
piece.
boo.
A little strange.
It was a side boo.
Well, that's why he knew all the secrets. He knew how to get into the house because he was very familiar.
Knew the TV was there.
He was all from going in the back door. Never went in the front door, of course, right? So
Otis Dupree and his side boo, Florence Duke.
Otis doesn't go in the front door. At Twin Peaks, you'll find the best kitchen in sports, making everything from scratch, and a beer selection ranging from local crafts to their famous 29-degree drafts. Try any of their made-from-scratch teasers like the Peak Sampler, which includes fried pickles, mozzarella bites, and buffalo tenders. Visit Twin Peaks, the ultimate sports lodge, to watch all the big games.
God, that murder in Virginia, that Vatek story, still bothers me so much. The a friend of Nicole Lovell's has spoken out. This is the 13-year-old girl that was murdered, they say, at the hands of the two Vatek students, Eisenhower and Nicole Keepers. Was it?
Sounds right.
Does that sound about right? No, that's not right. David Eisenhower. Anyway, Nicole was the girl, the little girl, Lovell, and friends say. Told the Natasha Bryant told the Washington Post that Nicole said David Eisenhower was her boyfriend.
Ooh.
Yeah,
so they had a longer relationship than maybe was alluded to before. We thought maybe he just met her online real quick, set up a meeting. And
when I was trolling this 13-year-old's Facebook, I saw images from a few months ago of her with some dude, and people were like, "Oh my God, who's that?" And she's like, "My boyfriend." She can't wait to declare someone her boyfriend. It's like, where did you meet him? Oh, we met yesterday at the mall or something, or online.
We're in love.
So yeah, she's, oh my God, he's so sweet. I love this guy. I mean, which in fairness to her, that's the way a 13-year-old's mind would work. You know, oh my God, I met this guy yesterday. I'm in love. That's not a rare thing. So so her saying to friends that David Eisenhower is her boyfriend, I don't put much stock in that, but she described him as funny and really nice. She told people she was talking to him. We didn't think it was a big deal because she didn't make that much of it. She always talked of running away with him. She used to talk to a lot of older guys. A lot of people told her not to. I told her it wasn't safe. I told her she was going to be hurt or kidnapped or something. Police say Nicole and Eisenhower messaged on the anonymous texting app Kik. Have you heard of this Kik app? Yeah, I hear that's a real son of a bitch. The police are having a lot of trouble with this Kik app. I don't know much about it, but as far as what we were talking about earlier, encrypted stuff, I guess that's
one of these disappearing messages things.
But I think it's really disappearing, not like Snapchat. Anyway, there's no official motive has been released, but sources said that they had sexual contact, and CNN reported last week that Eisenhower may have killed her to keep her from revealing this relationship. Lovell's own father said he knew about his daughter's online communications with older men. You could tell these older guys had fake profiles. Some of the things they said were way too grown up for the pictures they had. We found out before Christmas and took her phone away. Well, that'll stop her. He says he's still trying to comprehend that his daughter's gone. How can it go from being my wonderful, happy daughter to she was murdered a few days later? I talked to her about a week ago before she went missing and everything was normal. She was my little baby girl. Now, something about that statement right there sounds a little off. I talked to my daughter a week ago.
They're separated.
Are they?
It sounds like it. It sounds like he doesn't live with her.
Okay. Maybe that's not a problem then. I don't know. Whatever. But if he's the one taking her phone, I don't know. It just seems like something more needed to be done. I don't know. Eisenhower's roommate at Vatek also spoke to the Washington Post. He says that he was shocked to find investigators rummaging through his shit. He says the guy was kind of a weirdo, quiet, and that he's trying to put things in context now, like,
Yeah, in
oh,
hindsight, like, put the pieces together.
yeah.
Wonder if that guy gets all A's. It was always the rumor if your roommate died during college, you'd get all A's that semester. Yeah, that was always the rumor.
Yeah, absolutely. That's true. I think that is true.
Why would that be true across the board?
Because you're in mourning and you can't possibly focus on your finals, so they just give you all A's and send you along.
Yeah, it got everybody wondering, especially those who hated their roommates.
Yeah.
I wonder if this is true.
Well,
if I were
mean,
this guy, I'd be arguing hard for that, though.
Yeah.
I'm
Absolutely
emotionally devastated. How can
my,
I go on?
My roommate, I'm in fear for my life now. But it sounds like he was kind of a weirdo. So
yeah,
I don't know.
Hey, got to mention a couple things. First, our buddy Eric Ellenbrook, DetroitWebDesigner.net. We've mentioned him in the past as the guy who's essentially responsible for our website. Does a great job. Whether you're in the market for full-scale design and development of a website or just simple fixes or tweaks, definitely contact Eric at DetroitWebDesigner.net. Very easy to work with. Good guy. Also, haven't mentioned in a while the Amazon link. Please use it. It's on our website, DetroitCast.com. It's a great way to donate to the show without taking any money out of your pocket.
Yeah.
Just click on the portal, and it takes you to Amazon. You shop as you normally do, and we get a bit of a kickback. That wasn't just a Christmas thing we were doing. I know we hyped it hard in the Christmas season, but it's something that we're doing ongoing, and it's a perfect way to donate because, again, it doesn't take anything out of your pocket. It's just shop as you normally do.
But if you want to take stuff out of your pocket,
you can. We have
been doing that.
We have a means by which you can do that as well. The donate button is there. And
someone gave us a nice donation.
Dude, who was that? We had a sweet one yesterday. I will mention his name because it was very generous.
You want me to find it?
Damn it. Yes, please. Yes, please.
Yes, please. All right, I'll find
it. Brian K. You know who you are. Appreciate the support, my man. Very much.
He gave that much?
Yeah. Makes you wonder why other people don't give that much.
Yeah, it seems like, well, he gave $500 in a donation. Now, my first thought is if you have $500 in expendable cash, you probably have 1,000. Yeah, I mean, not to be rude about it.
Oh, you're right. If you have 500, you have 1,000.
So the question is, Brian, what are you doing with our other $500?
It's all well and good, but
not
and
saying
it makes
that,
me think that other people have $500.
Yeah, probably. That's a fair. I mean, that's a fair conclusion to jump to. Thank you, Brian, very much. That's very cool. Not that I expect that every month from Brian, but you know. Quarterly, probably be fair, right?
Bi-monthly, I'd say,
yeah,
is more fair. Zot Ford's offering many thousands of dollars off your new Ford. You can lease a new 2016 Ford Fusion or Escape for just $202. It's $202 with zero due. That's right, people. $202 with zero due gets you a new Fusion or Escape at Zot Ford and Holly. Get there. Exit 98.
Have we ever figured out what is behind the phenomenon of the "look at my dick" guys?
No.
Like, what's going on?
So
there?
much deviance. It's tough to track.
Yeah.
Talked about a cannibal who just ate a dick. Who knows?
Well, that guy, you just go, okay, he's miswired completely.
But isn't this miswiring as well?
Or is it hijinks and hilarity?
Nah.
I mean, dicks can be hilarious.
Oh, for sure.
But you pull out a good Kentucky wristwatch.
Of course.
You
do that.
Hey, look, the flying squirrel, Jay.
Yeah.
Hey, you want to see a bird bath?
Right. You do that in front of your buddies. You're in college, whatever. You walk over, all of a sudden you feel something on your shoulder. It's your buddy's panus and balls. Okay, hilarious.
Hey, Jay, does my thumb look swollen to you? So my thumb got a little swell to it.
That can be funny.
Right. It's hilarious.
Universally funny, really. But in the wrong room.
Yeah.
Opening a trench coat.
Yeah.
13-year-old girls.
Yeah. Or 18-year-old girls, even 50-year-old girls. Not the best move. We got a convicted sex offender from Oklahoma was arrested by police on Sunday after a spree that saw him exposing his panus in a grocery store. Dude, what? And then he broke into a co-ed's bedroom while she slept and stole some panties. Yeah. It was around 2 a.m. Imagine this. You're crashed. You're in your sorority. You're sleeping there. And some dude is sitting at the end of your bed.
Oh, what a nightmare. This guy driven by an urge that requires him to break into a sorority house, sit at the end of someone's bed and steal panties. I mean, that's the kind of deviant we're talking about.
You know what? I forgot about this, but I don't even, just in case, I don't know why. Not that it matters. I'm sick of saying my friends' names, but I'll say that I had a friend that his mom forever since I've grown up had a big thing with making sure every door in the house was locked. And apparently one time when she was a kid, she would like walk down to her basement middle of the night and just some dude was just at the door completely naked.
Nice.
And I'll have to ask more.
I think I would lock my doors too the rest of my life.
I remember one time just like going like, dude, why is like
so
such a big deal
about
with locking these doors? And he's like, I guess it was just like some dude just sitting there naked.
Was he jacking it?
I'll have to
How
ask.
could you not jack it at that point?
I'll
You've
have
gone
to
to
ask,
that length,
but-
you might as well jack
Right.
it all over the lady.
Yeah.
It did sound like he had a heart on. So
What do you do? Do you shoo him like a stray animal? I mean, what's the move?
Dude, I swear to God, I'd be afraid the rest of my life to like. You just walk down in the middle of the night, some full-grown man, especially if you're
chilling.
You know, a 6th, 7th grade girl. I forget. She was young. It sounded like she was pretty young when it happened.
Yeah.
That would scar.
Oh well, she woke up around 2 a.m. to find Randall Ashton sitting on her bed with his pants down, and then he's like, "Whoa!" When she woke up, he's just like, "Oh,
sorry,
you're not Brittany."
Look
She's
at
like,
Randall.
Yeah, no, I'm not
trying to
Brittany.
change the subject.
Oh God, is
Big
he
time
ever.
bald, but he's trying to focus you on his chin.
Yeah.
Oh, we get it.
Yeah, eyes down here, hair down here.
Randall.
Randall. So, oh, you're not Brittany, before pulling up his pants and then like, oh, I'm out of here.
My
and
bad.
walking away as if Brittany would have appreciated Randall sitting at the base of her bed with his dick out.
Brittany would have consented for sure, Randall.
Police were called and soon arrested Ashton, whom they identified as the man who had exposed himself in a grocery store 3 hours earlier. It's believed he gained interest in the house after the girl he surprised left her bedroom window open. Oh, this is horror movie type stuff. After he left the room, she locked him out, though he tried to re-enter the room a number of times.
Ugh.
With the rest of the bedrooms locked, Ashton was heard pacing around the inside of the sorority house. And when police arrived, he was standing on the balcony above the main entrance. Gentlemen, how you doing this fine evening?
What's the problem, officer?
You're right, man. A wild animal just trying to satisfy an urge.
Yeah. So
Ugh.
they haul his ass downtown. They're looking at security cam and they see, some grainy video, some guy just going, look at my dick, look at my dick, look at my dick in a grocery store. And they're like, yeah, same dude.
Randall.
And so they strip search him and he's wearing the girl's panties. It's gotta be a nice little snug, silky feeling on the sack, right? Like, oh, those panties? No, those are mine. No, those are Randall's panties.
Is that why you buy Beth such big panties?
Yeah.
You guys are sharing panties.
Well,
I'll be damned.
Yeah, some oversized bloomers, No, I don't know. That I would be horrified. Like, weren't there kids? Remember when we went to like homecoming? I'm thinking of one guy in particular who would like decided to wear his girlfriend's panties under his tux.
I don't remember that. And
You'd know the name if I told you.
here's the thing: you got to have a pretty big girl to be able to do that. Because I mean,
with a thong though. I mean, they're elastic.
Yeah,
you could wear Gab's panties.
I don't know, man.
I think
Like-
you could try it. You could get Gab's panties on. I mean, you'd be falling out of them, but
I'll try it.
try it. See how far you can get. I think if I
I'll
ever
let
put
you know how it
bets
feels
on.
on my balls too.
Yeah, if it's silky and smooth.
I can't imagine a thong is going to feel very good.
Yeah. You don't
It's
knock it till you
amazing
try
they
it.
do that. Really, that thing up their ass.
Yeah.
God, that's amazing.
Thank
that
God
that
they
can be-
do, though.
Oh, I agree.
So anyway, they're downtown. So now they have to go back and talk to the chicks, and one of the chicks is like, "Yeah, those are my panties. He can keep them, by the way." Christ, no, I don't need them back. She had just done her laundry and had this nice, perfect pair of thong panties laying on top, and he was
Sure.
like, "Well, thank you very much. Don't mind if I do." And then put them on. And,
Salt in the wound, dude. It could have been her favorite pair.
yeah, not anymore.
You're replaceable.
You wouldn't want them back, right?
I would not want them back.
Like at that
for the
point,
record,
like it's over.
Randall can have them.
Yeah, they're his now. How we doing on email, Jay? Do we have some email?
We do have some email, Mike.
Oh God,
What happened?
did you hear about the Black Lives Matter guy that killed himself?
I did not.
Yeah, which, I'm kind of torn on the story because I want these people to go away so bad, but this is not what I had in mind. This is not where I was going with this. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
I want to be clear about that. Killed himself on the steps of the Ohio State House.
Wow.
Yeah, kind of dramatic, right?
A little bit.
Not before sharing he took to Twitter And
as you do now.
Yeah, Marshawn McCarroll, he's 23, shot himself outside the front door of the State House Monday evening. His last tweet read, "Let the record show that I pissed on the State House before I left." It's kind of a classy
nice
move.
use of your characters there.
Mm-hmm. Does he hashtag? I don't see any hashtags or anything.
He didn't hashtag Black Lives Matter?
Not according to this. I mean,
Fail.
it's, let the
Fail.
Yeah. Well, he's getting the Black Lives Matter name out there technically now. It's unclear why he killed himself. Authorities say nobody saw the shooting. "My demons won today. I'm sorry," he posted on Facebook just before shooting himself. McCarroll helped organize protests in Ohio after the Missouri cop shot and killed the unarmed black teenager Michael Brown. I don't know if you heard about that story or if you remember that.
Vaguely recall.
Yeah, if you go back like a year ago, there's a martyr that was murdered. He's gone to soon.
I wonder how the memorial looks right now.
Oh,
the rain-soaked teddy bear.
Didn't they find a way to do a giant sweeperoo on that?
They did several times. You had people driving through it.
Yeah, lit it on fire. Remember the tree that was
ended up just a stalk.
Yeah, it looked like a bat,
like
baseball bat,
an 18-inch stalk coming out of the ground,
just hacked to shit. They tear it down, and within 24 hours, that shit was in full bloom again.
You'd have SpongeBob's and Spider-Men just piled high.
You and Ian, one of our discussions were going on because you guys were looking at the pile, like, "Oh my God, there's a Spider-Man in there."
What the hell is a
SpongeBob in there? People are just like walking by, just chucking their old shit onto
like
the pile.
Damn State Fair. Look at that.
There it is.
All faded, sun faded, rain soaked, dye dripping.
I find
blue Care Bears.
I find it so fascinating that this is an American phenomenon.
Yeah, it's bizarre.
Remember when we saw all the memorials of Paris, France?
Yeah, all the flowers.
It was flowers and candles. There were no Mylar balloons, none. I mean, you'd have the market to yourself if you capitalized in Paris, France, with Mylar balloons. You could dominate over there.
Is that a drooping Mylar right there in front? And why does Curious George take such prominence on the poll?
Is that Curious
How
George?
does George rise to such prominence?
Yeah, I don't know.
Is that him? He's 2 feet above everybody else?
Yeah, is that
towering above SpongeBob?
I think there's 2 of them stapled together that you're looking at. This is a Valentine's bear.
Oh,
that's got
a
Valentine's
regift.
That's got Valentine's panties on and a rose.
You're absolutely right, dude.
Someone got that for Valentine's 2 years ago and was just like, yeah, chuck it in the pile. I don't know. Look at that's absurd.
There has to be rodentia in that. There has to be.
This guy just discarded his high school sweatshirt. That's like Big E's running sweatshirt from 2001, and someone just chucked that in the pile. This is not a garbage dump, folks. I know you want to believe it is, but look at the pylon in here. There's an orange pylon in the middle of the Michael Brown tribute pylon.
Yeah, there's a lime green Care Bear in there. Was that Rainbow Bear or something? Yeah, it's not good, Mike.
Yeah.
It is a strange phenomenon.
It's a fucking discarded Christmas tree over here. Still planted. It's still planted in the water dish.
Somebody tried to put it back outside.
We don't need your ass anymore. Someone plant this and shit.
Damn, dude.
Yeah.
Boy, what an honor to be remembered in that way.
Right. So he's no longer with us, my man here. He killed himself. His father in 2014, McCarroll was quoted as saying, "All you need, Jay,
is love and shit."
Love."
Wow.
Isn't that crazy? He's quoted. Wow. You're going to give him credit for the all you need is love?
Is love. Damn it. That's good. That's got a ring to it. I think that has legs, Mike.
That would fit in a chorus.
All you need is love.
All you need is love.
All you need is love.
All you
love. All you need is
love is all you need. All you need is love.
Ba, 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 ba. All you need is
go with
love.
that. I like that.
Ba, 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 ba. All you need is love. Love. Love is all you need. This could work.
Dude, I'm smelling a hit. Anyone else? Did anyone else hear it? Good work, Jay. Wow, you came up with that melody out of nowhere.
Had to fill it with bump, ba, 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 ba. But
what are you thinking? Trumpets? Do we go with trumpets for the bump, ba, da, da, da?
Brass section? I like that.
All right. Huh. Think the way you're thinking.
Before we get to email, Mike, got to tell you about our buddy Merck. You'll remember him well.
Oh, I do. He gave me a concussion He filmed me in my biggest wipeout mode ever.
And had a lot of fun with us while we were drunk.
Yes, he did.
How much money will you need in retirement? Asked Merck. For most of us, the answer is not at all clear. Retirement doesn't have to be a mystery. Contact Mark Leibovitz at LPL Financial today to learn the answer to one of the most important questions for your retirement. Call today and tell him you're a friend of the show for a no-cost, no-obligation consultation, 248-626-2000, and ask for Mark. You have anything to say about that, E?
Yes. Securities and advisory services offered through LPL Financial, a registered investment advisor. Member FINRA SIPC.
Wow.
Well put, E.
Jackie writes in, listening to you guys talk, Drew saying congrats on the air. So yesterday we referenced that Manny's birth. Drew actually formally congratulated
you and
us,
Gab,
for the birth of Manny on the air back in the Rift days. There was a question about when it was. I can tell you it was between 7 and 7:30 a.m. I remember because I always got to work a little bit early and listened in the parking lot. I was surprised that Drew announced it, so it kind of stuck in my head. Are you kidding me?
That's hilarious.
Dude,
we didn't make announcements like that ever, but there were so many people that wanted birthday wishes, death wishes, gone to soon wishes.
You're telling me you remember August 2001, Drew making a random announcement about Mike's friend having a baby?
Yeah.
Holy
shit.
shit.
Isn't that crazy? I could see it, but that would have stood out, I suppose, because it's not something that would have been done very often.
It's extraordinary.
Mm-hmm.
Joe writes in, concerning Jay's diet is the subject line. So the Gene Simmons wannabe is smug about his abstinence from red meat and bacon, but he drinks Red Bull? So is Gene Simmons like a famous vegan or something?
I don't know. Probably just all his other crap. He probably just with no drinking, no drugs. So it's probably, is he a big health kick? I don't know.
Every day,
maybe
ground is a good day.
Every day.
I don't hurt my body.
He's famous for his panty room. I know that.
Panty room.
Yes. I don't know.
What's the
I'm not sure. Maybe he can
must
explain.
Be smugly against red meat or something. But he drinks Red Bull. There must be some pseudoscience behind his nutrition, quote, expertise. Look, Joe, I've never purported to be like some vegan or anti-meat guy. I just, everything in moderation, my man.
Yeah.
Everything in moderation.
I love red meat. Red meat's great.
It's fine.
It's fine. I know that's a loaded statement.
It's fine.
It's fine. You haven't had red meat in forever, have you?
I had a steak not too long ago.
Did you?
I think. and I don't have anything against bacon. And the Red Bull, for God's sakes.
What's he saying? That Red Bull's bad for you too? Is that the point?
Trying to stay awake, man.
Yeah.
We're sitting here at 5 a.m. Like I'm just trying to wake up for you, Joe, for you and the listeners. That's why I'm drinking the Red Bull.
That's right.
Schlitsky writes in, Red Bull deficient ones. Your memory of Romanowski spitting in J.J. Stokes' face had me harken back to my first and only 4th grade. Wow. Some of us only go to 4th grade once.
Yeah, so did I.
Included. Schlitsky.
Me too.
I remember it well. Mrs. Beck, Ida Beck, at Middlebelt Elementary School.
Oh, this is bad. I couldn't tell you one of my teachers outside of Mr. Green who flipped the desk in class when I was in 5th grade.
Well, Mr. Green was also involved in your fantasy about sex ed, right? You thought Mr. Green was going to put it to Mrs. So-and-so?
Yeah, the 6th grade teacher. That was the rumor. In my defense, I didn't make that rumor up. That was what we were told that sex ed was going to be. It's like, yeah, Mr. Green's going to absolutely put it. And Mr. Green was tall, skinny guy. Figured he'd just deliver.
It's good.
I mean, absolutely hammer on Mrs. God, I wish I could think of her fucking name now. I can't. She was hot too.
My question is, why wouldn't I remember my 4th grade teacher, Ida Beck? It was a mere 2 years after my reign over King Kong Land in Mrs. Danley's class.
Absolutely. Who could forget?
So of course I went Lachlan, Danley, Beardsley, Beck.
I had a Miss Beardsley.
Did you?
Yeah.
What'd she look like?
Dark hair.
Did she have a beard?
No.
We were on the bus waiting to leave the school lot when the weird kid, quote unquote, says Schlitsky, later in life I understood it as Asperger's, decided to loogie in my face unprovoked.
Ooh.
Needless to say, loogie in my face equaled my fist to said weird kid's face and any other body part instantly. Asperger's or not, I would do it all over again. I think that would be most people's reaction.
To be spit in the face?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's fair.
Crazy. And that was crazy that Stokes just walked away from that guy.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. Matt writes in, Hey guys, this past weekend I was driving back from Ann Arbor from Cincinnati. My wife and infant daughter were both asleep. As I drove and listened to the podcast, you were discussing Johnny Manziel when all of a sudden comes blaring across the stereo. In unison, my wife and 14-month-old both flinched awake and looked startled. My wife goes, "What the hell is that?" So I start to explain it, and all of a sudden the drop plays again. Now my wife goes, "Make it stop that." I explained that I couldn't, and that we're now solely dependent on Mike's ability to crank down the levels in time.
Yeah.
All I can say is that drop never gets old. And I saw
it does.
I saw firsthand how useful it could be as an alarm clock sound later, Matt.
Oh, that'd be a good ringtone if you're trying to get up in the morning. Try it.
Be brutal.
Try it. Let's sample the alarm clock real quick and see how it would sound.
Come on, just give it some juice.
You're not a hamburger. You're not a hamburger. You're not a hamburger.
Yeah, that'd be tough.
Dude, I would wake up to that.
Startled.
Yeah.
Donald J. Trump writes in, "Thank you
What?
for your submission." Yeah. We got a return email from Donald J. Trump. Yesterday, we emailed his campaign to see about an interview. And so we got a thank you for your email.
Go away.
We appreciate your support. A member of our team will be contacting you soon to discuss your inquiry. Please follow us on Facebook, blah, 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 blah. Together, we will make America great again.
I feel like I'm part of the team. So it's not dead yet.
It's not dead, my
The
friend.
dream lives about getting Donald Trump on this very program.
So badass. It's so randomly weird that it could happen.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. And it's honestly, I really believe, I know he can go anywhere and to any outlet, but I think it does him good in this weird world we're living in right now.
To do something like this.
To do something off the wall like podcasts. Like you can still do the Stern Show and CNN, but you're going to get a different audience and a different take on those people that you're trying to reach by doing stuff like podcasts.
Indeed.
You know, something Hillary's not going to be doing.
No.
Something I could see Chris Christie
Could see the burn doing it for sure.
Yeah, I could see the burn.
Try to
doing
get the burn on too.
Dude, if we got the burn on and I let him go,
gentlemen,
I'm very
happy
feel the burn.
to be here. You might feel the burn. He might have a new disciple.
Yeah, he might sway me.
Maybe we ought not have the burn.
We can't feel the burn here in this show.
Bone Job writes in with an important message, I believe.
Oh no.
Hey guys, I get that doing a show Tuesday was not going to happen. So as I do every morning, I got in my truck ready to listen to the best of that was promised in replacement for it. So if you'll recall, listeners, we warned you up front, hey, we're going to do a show after the Super Bowl, which we'll post Monday morning. That way we're right on top of all the Super Bowl information for those who want to listen first thing Monday. Now, what that does is it puts us probably at 3, 4 in the morning finishing all that stuff up. So we're not going to do a Monday show. But because we love you, we'll put together a best of for you on Tuesday.
That's right.
Connor was looking for said best of. Or Bone Job. Sorry, I don't know who Connor is. Misspoke. For the first time in a very long time, when I referenced my podcast feed, there was no Detroit Cast. Of course, this takes place on a morning when it's snowing and the roads are bad. I had very little time to address this issue due to traffic. I just assumed that my daily freeze worth would be waiting for me as it usually is, and it was not. And now I find out that this is the mistake of the tard, the very same tard that took to the book to speak poorly of a local radio show is the reason I had no show to listen to. That very tard. Kadog, you're out. Thank you for your assistance today, sir.
Thank you for your service.
This is not
Good
only
man,
unforgivable, it is mind-blowing. As a fan, I regularly ask my friends, coworker, and any person willing to listen to me to check out the show, and on Tuesday morning, the show is not even available.
Ooh.
Once again, it's somehow not his fault, or I don't know, or whatever. I'm like bad at computers, dude. F you, Jay.
I never said that, so I don't know where you got that from. Crazy.
The whole, quote, E being a tard thing, end quote, has run its course on us fans, and there isn't much more of his onion to peel. Even if there was, we just wouldn't care anymore. He provides nothing and is a detriment to the show. A detriment.
I appreciate you listening, man. Thank you.
I'm done with Big E, and if I weren't such a massive fan, I'd be done with the show.
Well, you're still listening, so I guess it's still working.
You can't lose listeners. I understand you're not going to garner us many listeners, but don't lose them. That's your only job.
A listener like Bone Job, a guy who's been there from the beginning.
Yeah, Bone Job was
hanging on by a thread because of E-tard. Wow. That's telling.
That's troubling.
Let me just say, we have had many high-level management meetings about this issue.
Yeah.
We were wearing hoodies and said management meeting, but they were very high level.
Absolutely.
Took place in a kitchen, but whatever.
Yeah. There was a lot of profanities uttered.
There was.
Not your typical boardroom meeting.
But it was serious. They are serious. These are ongoing meetings that are going on in an ongoing nature. There's a committee has been formed. Let's put it that way, Bone Job. A committee has been formed.
Yeah.
Rules will be forthcoming. P.S. He was right about what he said on the book, which is why it is so important that TDC is posted. What'd you say on the book? What's he referring to?
I kind of went on a rant last Friday about a certain morning show in the
Which
Detroit
one?
area. Dave and Chuck the Freak.
Oh, what'd you say?
It's
a great show.
I'd have to look back
Good
on it.
stuff.
It was rather long. It was a few paragraphs. So
seriously?
Yeah.
Any punctuation at all?
I think it was.
Is it readable? Like if
I had a few people say that. I mean, granted, I don't know what that means because my grammar is so horrible most of the time. So I don't know.
It's cogent.
It sounded like a few people were shocked that it was not as bad as it normally was.
What was your biggest hang up with the show?
I would say it would fall into probably the middle of my thing, and that'd just be the fact that it's just the craziness. Like I can't believe a show that's is listened to by so many. I have friends that listen and they're like, "Oh my God, did you hear how awesome it was?" I'm like, "Yeah, I heard one story about a crazy sex thing, and then I heard 35 minutes of callers trying to be more funny than the last, more outrageous than the last, as opposed to as I
trying to one up each other,
right? As opposed to as I put it, relying on the quote unquote on-air talent to create the content for a show. Yeah, it's lazy,
aka lazy radio. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, that's what I said.
Dude, I keep there were people pointing to them pulling like a 30 share.
Yeah,
and I just don't believe that. I don't. Nobody knows the rating system,
right.
Dude. I just, for whatever reason, I don't know what spin they're putting on this to get to this 30 share number. I mean, Drew and Mike in their heyday was a 10 share, which is fucking monstrous. Howard Stern in his heyday in New York was a 9.5 share. And you're telling me Dave and Fuck the Freak are a 30 share in Detroit? I don't believe it.
Probably not.
I remember when
I don't believe it.
I don't hate him, but I just don't think he's that good.
I remember when I
and
went
honestly, if the show was good, I wouldn't believe it either.
Dude, that's the thing.
And the show's not good.
I think
that's
that
the problem I have with that show is it's just not a good show. If it was a good show, I'd go, yeah, I'd give it up to him. It's a good show.
I think that holds some relevance, especially for me personally, because when I'm working at Zot, we're by Flint. And one show that is syndicated out of Flint is Free Beer and Hot Wings. And I listen to them when I'm driving. Sometimes I'm not able. Sometimes I'm able to poke my phone into the car and listen to a podcast or whatever, Pandora. But I'm not always. And when I drive in the morning, and now it's less in the morning, obviously, because I do this. But Free Beer and Hot Wings, and that show entertains me. I've had moments where I've not wanted to get out of my car.
I hear good stuff about that show.
And some people might not like it too.
Eric used to work with us from that show, Free Beer and Hot Wings.
Right.
And he wrote me an email not that long ago congratulating us on this show. He's like, dude, I listened to the show. It's fucking great. One of the guys from Free Beer and Hot Wings. And their producer is Drew's nephew.
Okay.
So, but yeah, that show's done really well.
And I've had no problem admitting podcasts I like. If I had satellite back in the day, I would have listened to Opie and Anthony, and I probably still would listen to their version now if I had it.
Yeah.
But you're right. The point is, you're right. I would never be like, oh, it sucks just because it's because I've sat there and I've tried a few times just because of this. And I've sat there and listened a few times. I say in this that I've gone half hour before, more than, and not laughed legitimately. And I've been almost trying to just to whatever. So.
Yeah. I won't pretend to get it either. And I feel like I can be fair. Like if there's a good show out there, you just go, yeah, fuck, man. It's a great show.
Well, they seem to be having fun with it. There's a lot of laughter among the three.
Oh yeah, I've heard that.
Yeah, they love it.
I've probably listened to 3 minutes of it, so I'm not the best judge, but
I'm probably not either. But
same as you, where it just seemed very caller driven. But
and
maybe,
that's why
they don't do that every day. I don't know.
No, they do. every day.
Caught them on one of those days where they do that.
No, they do. And that's what Drew, and not to bring Drew and Mike back into it, but that's why that show was so different. And other shows do it. Drew and Mike wasn't the only show that did it, but Drew and Mike were that they were the talent. And that's what you didn't pay to listen to, but that's what you listen to. You didn't.
Yeah, you don't care what Bob and Monroe thinks about something. I don't give a fuck what Bob and Monroe, and especially when it becomes more, it's one thing once in a while when we do, it is literally, you could do that. A story, then a half hour of just callers. Yeah, I was banging 4 chicks at once and I told them to get the fuck out. Penis. Right. My God, I can't believe it. And it really bums me out. I've had a few people, rarity, but I had some dude at work. He doesn't work there anymore right now. And I have a few friends sometimes. I'll be at a party and they'll bring it up. And it's like, you don't want to sound too jaded, because I don't want to be like totally just like, dude. Yeah, that's the hard part of this, is you don't want to look like, because I personally, I don't give a shit. I stepped away from that scene on purpose.
Right.
Like, it's not like, oh my God, I can't get a job in radio, so now I'm doing this. So fuck radio and everyone involved. But there's plenty of good shows out there. I just don't hear it with that show. But for what it's worth, and wish them all the success in the world, I suppose, if they're pulling those ratings numbers. I just find that incredibly hard to believe.
Yeah, I don't know.
Incredibly hard to believe. Huh. Personal opinion, I'm no expert in ratings, but hearing a 30 share sounds like a number that's not possible to fucking hit, personally, for what it's worth.
That was the thing that when I did some of those flyers, I know I only did it a few times, obviously, but sometimes when I was trying to judge on people whether they'd even be interested, I'd ask if they listen to Drew and Mike or this or that. And I used to ask the second question, you'd just be like, well, what do you listen to now? And they'd mention that. And the reasoning was a lot of times, that it just, whatever. That was, my station was on 101 before, and now it's on. I just didn't change it.
Yeah, maybe it's as much a function as that, just it's the preset station. And moreover, there's really not much else.
I would say in Detroit,
unless you're into sports radio.
Right.
Is there anything else going on?
Yeah.
I mean, really,
if you're quote unquote edgy,
stuff,
if you're quote unquote, it is the most quote unquote edgy of anything in Detroit.
Mojo's a good, very non-edgy,
right. They have a
non-controversial
few
show.
little things here and there, but for the most part, it's a family show.
Yeah, you can have that on in the car and whatever. It serves its purpose.
Yeah,
it is what it is, and Mojo's plenty good. Those guys are all right. I don't have a problem with that show.
I don't either.
There has to be those shows out there,
right?
But that, as far as like edgy, like on the edge talk shows, I don't hear it whenever I've listened very, very little, to be honest. And to be fair, maybe they do compelling interviews with guests that I just haven't heard.
No.
Maybe that's going on.
There's zero.
And I'm not aware of it.
Maybe they talk about topical news in a relevant way.
No,
dude,
I'm just not listening in those moments.
This post didn't come from nowhere. I have on purposely, just to do it, given it several chances where I didn't even want to listen, but I forced myself, because I'm driving around sometimes. So I force myself to say, I'm going to listen to this for the next half hour of this drive.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's just my opinion again, but there's definitely no interviews going on.
Well, it's hard to believe with the content that's out there in terms of podcasts and other satellite radio that people would still feel beholden to just what's on their radio dial.
Yeah.
And that can't last much longer.
It won't. And that's the key too, when you're talking about rating shares, because you're getting rated on, like, we're not included in a ratings thing. Like, we could have all the listeners in the world and we would never show up on a ratings thing for terrestrial radio.
Obviously.
So you take that into account. It's like anything on satellite isn't included, anything on podcasting isn't included. So it's a share of what's being listened to in the market.
Right.
So yeah.
Well, whatever.
Shrinking pool.
Whatever. I mean, they've got triple the ratings that Stern had in his heyday in New York. Whatever. That's cool.
It seems like that would. It seems like that would end up being on
highly likely, actually.
Right.
Highly likely.
Whatever.
We'll save the rest for tomorrow, Miguel.
All right, we've gone long. Thanks everybody for hanging with us. We certainly appreciate it. Now you can, if you're listening live, you can flip over to Dave and Chuck and check them out. So enjoy that. Have a good day, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow.
Been listening to the Detroit Cast with your hosts Mike and Jay. From all of us at Radio for One Studios, thank you for listening, and as always, thank you, Detroit.